Only on GhanaTalks radio. Turn it up and stay tuned for the talk that moves you and keeps your heart in tune. From the traffic to the trends, we got something for your day. Every voice, every vision, lighting up.
This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. It's a beautiful Thursday morning, and you are welcome to the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show right here on GhanaTalks Radio. This is the first segment and also the news review, and right here we bring you all the relevant stories making waves in the news, from business to politics, from sports to entertainment. We got you covered with the most relevant stories and informed perspectives on issues that matter to you every morning right here on the show. This is your favorite online radio station. Remember that you're streaming live on Facebook at GhanaTalks Radio TV, on YouTube at GhanaTalks Radio, on X at GhanaTalks Radio. Do well to log on, send in your comments. Let's get interactive right here on the show. This morning show promised to be educative and very exciting, and we bring you some interesting news headlines. But before we get into the news review, we're going to be looking at the front page of some newspapers before we get into that. So on the front page of Daily Graphic, President Mahama spurs Kwewu firms to manufacture. This is the front page of Daily Graphic. President Mahama spares Kwewu firms to manufacture. On the front page of the Metro Lens, no jail no more. Parliament passes Community Service Bill. Jail no more. Parliament passes Community Service Bill. Unimac Chancellor Oforisapon pledges stronger academia industry ties. On the front page of the Daily Satellite, minority kicks against public tribunals, warns against political prosecution. Minority kicks against public tribunals, warns against political persecution. On the front page of the National Enquirer, right here we have Julius Deborah advocates for public service reset. Agboja cracks down on delayed road projects. And I believe yesterday you saw the videos that on a particular road, I think which is the Dodowa Ofanko Road or the Hallway Road, and he mentioned that if he actually knew that this was how you were going to work, he wouldn't have even given you an upfront payment. That should tell you how aggressive the Minister for Highways is to make sure that the big push project is going on successfully. The business analysts, and right here again we have Oforisapon to champion Unimac's vision. The Spider on the front page of the Spider newspaper. Ayeni must go. Minority drops 350 million Ghana cedis flat cash. Bombshell demands Attorney General's removal. I think that will be all for the front page of the newspapers. But one thing actually caught my attention, of which I didn't actually read. And this is on the front page of Daily Graphic. And it reads that Name prosecutes government officials implicated in $300 million drug bust. And this is from Intim Fojo. He says that they should name and prosecute any government official who is implicated in the $300 million drug bust. It looks like Intim Fojo is really interested when it comes to drug. If you check his record, you could see that the man is really interested to make sure that he gets hold of anyone who is being implicated, in drugs. And I think that is a good sign, keeping the government on its toes to make sure that Ghana doesn't become a hub for drug transit. Ms. Regina? Anna? Yes, the law shouldn't allow anybody to go scot-free.
I think the way he's interested, it looks like he has some names, or should I say, he knows some people, especially some of these ministers who are fueling it. Maybe probably he's just being careful and steady.
But looking at the report so far, haven't you noticed that the issue of drug is becoming too much? And I think it should be a wake-up call for government to take swift action against it.
Yeah. So they always say Ghana should not be a safe haven for criminals to bring in their drugs into the country. But I would say that currently it is a safe haven, because the audacity for people to even think of bringing the drugs in the first place and putting in an action tells you that we are not safe as Ghanaians.
We are not.
Because when it comes to drug users, excuse me to say, they are not normal human beings. They are junkies. Anyone who has had an interaction with a drug user before will know how dangerous they are. They are very, very, very dangerous. I quite remember when I was going to JHS, on the path where we normally take, there are drug users there. And that environment, it's a very big farm. So normally in the mornings we pass there, but once it's clocks afternoon and evening, you dare not pass there because it might get very dangerous. So as we are tackling the problem here in Ghana, making sure that we arrest all these people, because mind you, the people who are receiving the drugs, I feel like they are just intermediaries. The main people are out there. They are outside the country bringing in the drugs. See, drugs is very expensive, very, very expensive. And when you look at some of these people that are being arrested, it should tell you that they don't have the money for it.
Yeah,
they don't have the money for it. Yesterday, I think Rock made an example where he doesn't have money. There's no way he would be relying on drug usage. But he used Shatawale as an example. He has the money to take care of himself after taking the weed. But some of these junkies, you can see, say, "Wait,
it's a problem."
So it shows on these people say they are junkies. But share in for junkies, no, they are very handsome.
Yeah,
you wouldn't even know that these people are drug dealers. So I think the rate at which every day Ghana has arrested is becoming too much. And it is sending a wrong signal to other people.
Yeah, to other people.
So they need to crack down on the internal organization or operation, and also make sure that they are checking the outsiders too.
Our borders really needs to be secured. It starts from our borders before they get into the country. And you know, the drug dealers, they are very, very intelligent. How can you mix drug with charcoal? And within a week, we saw a 67-year-old woman,
Nigerian woman,
who wrapped drug into
ripe plantain.
You get it. That should tell you how smart they are.
Exactly.
So that should tell you that these agencies, especially the NACO, they have to be very, very intelligent. And now that people are asking that they should build houses for them before they give them information there in every year. But we are just hoping that they up their game and make sure that Ghana doesn't become a hub for drug. All right, thank you so much, Miss Regina. This morning, I'll be doing the news review with Miss Regina. It promised to be very interesting, so make sure you stick with us. All right, so on our first news item, Council of State advises Parliament against passage of dual citizenship bill. The Council of State has advised Parliament not to pass the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana Amendments Bill 2025, commonly known as the Dual Citizenship Bill. The bill seeks to remove constitutional restrictions that prevent Ghanaians with dual citizenship from holding certain public offices. Speaker of Parliament Abon Bagbin informed members of Parliament that the Council of State had completed its review and recommended that Parliament should not proceed with the proposed amendment. According to the Speaker, the bill was referred to the Council of State in line with Article 29, Clause 2 of the 1992 Constitution, which requires the Council to give its advice before Parliament continues with constitutional amendments bills. Mr. Alban Bagbin noted that this latest advice is different from the Council's earlier position during the 8th Parliament when it supported the same proposal. However, that bill was not passed before Parliament was dissolved and had to be reintroduced. Despite the Council's recommendation, the Speaker clarified that its advice is not binding on Parliament. He explained that Parliament still has the constitutional authority to debate and decide whether to pass or reject the bill. If passed, the amendments would allow Ghanaians with dual citizenship to hold public offices that are currently restricted under the Constitution. The bill will now continue through Parliament's legislative process, where members of Parliament will decide its fate. So that is it. The Council of State has advised Parliament against the passage of the dual citizenship bill, and as Alban Bagbin is saying that it has to go through a process, and it has to go through the Council of State. In as much as the Council of State has advised, it is not binding that Parliament should, agree to what Council of State is saying. That is what Alban Bagbin is not binding on Parliament's decision. Whether they advise that it should wait or not, legal matters, they will pass it. So, in a nutshell, that is what Alban Bagbin is saying. Ms. Regina Bless, what do you make of this? And do you think that dual citizenship, those with dual citizenship, should be allowed to hold certain public positions right here in our country?
Okay, so dual citizenship, people with dual citizenship having public office or holding public office, I think it's a good thing, but it comes with a lot. Now, there's nothing wrong with you employing these people with dual citizenship, because mind you, obi wo ha ne mama ne papa ni na ye Ghanaian, but there are some countries, the moment you give birth in that country, that child automatically becomes a home, how would I put it, a property of that city. So let's say, which country will I use? Maybe Canada. When I get pregnant and I go to Canada and I give birth there, automatically the child is a Canadian. Canadian burger, exactly. Now, this shouldn't stop these people from also holding public offices. But the question is, should I use probably, how would I put it, their interest or their loyalty would be questioned, because you're a citizen of this country, you're a citizen of this country. You get me? So let's use Abu Chika for example. Let's say with the issue of Abu Chika, he's supposed to be expedited to the other country to make sure that he faces any criminal issues. Now just imagine a judge who is judge at Odis Asemno. He or she is having this dual citizenship, and the issue is, how would I put it for you to understand perfectly well? Asemo.
Take your time.
Yes, I've taken my time. So let's say Abu Chika is not at fault, but these U.S. authorities want him there. Now this judge is a Ghanaian and he's a U.S.
Citizen.
A U.S. citizen as well. Who do you think you would go in favor to?
Of course, the U.S.
Of course, the U.S. So sometimes with the dual citizenship, it comes with a lot. And per my research, it says that Ghana can, looking at the positive aspects, Ghana can benefit from the expertise, the international experience, and networks of Ghanaians living abroad. Now, it also says dual citizenship does not necessarily mean a person is less patriotic or committed to Ghana, to the country. And also it says it promotes inclusiveness and allows more qualified Ghanaians to contribute to national development. Looking at the positive aspect of it, it is good, because these people will bring in new ideas. I can't remember when this issue popped up. I don't know if it was last year or early this year. We went out to interview some people. Some people were like, oh, it's good for us to have dual citizenship. People who hold dual citizenship as a card. Simple. People who have dual citizenship, it is good for them to hold public offices because they are coming in with new ideas. They even went as far as saying, said the people in parliament, they are old people. We've known their ideas. We know what they are bringing. It is the same thing. There's no changes, nothing. It is stagnant, just like that. So they were calling in that, oh, they are in support of it. But when we look at the negative aspect, it says public officials may face conflict of loyalty if Ghana's interests clash with those of their other country of citizenship. So looking at this xenophobic attacks between Ghana and South Africans, just imagine someone who is a South African, someone who is also a Ghanaian. Where would their stance be? It would be very difficult, because you are supposed to support your country, and here lies the case: you're a South African, you are also a Ghanaian, so the conflict of loyalty would be wavering. It will be shaking, because we don't know where you stand. But we know that as a public holder, you need to make sure that this is the country you support. I support these people. This is my home country. But having dual citizenship comes with a lot, and also some sensitive positions, particularly in defense, intelligence, and national security, require undivided allegiance. Yes. When we look at the defense system, when we look at our national security, it has sensitive matters there. It has sensitive issues there, and it shouldn't. Those information shouldn't land in the wrong hands. So just imagine it lands in the wrong hands. Oh, maybe some people's loyalty can even be bought. This state would approach you. Oh, we need their information. This is a man. You collect it and give the information to them, because one who baby ujina so ujina your other Western country, and also ujina Ghana. And also it says public confidence could be affected if citizens believe officials have competing national obligations.
Right.
So dual citizenship is good, but it comes with a whole lot of headache. If the officials and public officials, government of Ghana, are ready to implement it, they need to make sure that they are very careful about who they bring into their circle, because looking at the public officials, their circle, it holds sensitive matters. Parliament holds sensitive matters. When we look at our national security, it also holds sensitive matters. You can't go work in the office of the president and be a spy. It is not possible.
Yeah, it's scary. I feel like there should be some public offices or that these people shouldn't even hold at all. But what is bringing this whole confusion is that previously, during the 8th Parliament, they agreed that, oh, there's no need for any amendments. They should go ahead and, pass the bill. But Parliament was actually dissolved, and then they came back and they reintroduced it again. Now, it is mandatory for it to go through the process, and through the process, it has to go to the Council of State. Now, Alban Bagman is saying that in as much as Council of States have given their recommendation, it's still not binding to the decision. It is not legally that they still have to adhere to it. And one question that pops up is, should Parliament still go ahead and pass the bill and disregarding what Council of States is recommending? Because we still haven't found out as to why they are disagreeing now, whereas they disagreed previously during the 8th Parliament. So do you think that Parliament should still go ahead, in as much as you've given us your advice, as like a teacher, you are doing
from the Council of State?
Yeah, so like you are doing your project work, you have to go to the teacher to look at it. But in all of that, you are still going to be the one to do the work. So all the decision still lies on you. In as much as the teacher has given you the advice that, oh, so and so, if you pick this particular topic, maybe you're not going to get enough research, papers to buttress. But change here, you said that is what you want to do. Should Parliament forgo the recommendation of Council of State, or?
So Council of State is against it.
It's against it.
But Parliament wants to pass it. Now, asemu conflict of interest.
Yeah.
So I think this boils down to they sitting down and communicating it very well. See, this dual thing is a good thing, no, but it comes with a lot. It comes with it comes with, in fact, secrecy and privacy being open to the outside people. And we are not saying that these people having this dual citizenship are outside people, but automatically they are outside. They are outsiders, in as much as they are part Ghanaian and part any other country. I think they need to sit and really look into this very well. They need to weigh the pros and cons.
Yeah.
So, at the end of the day, is the merits more than the demerits, or is the demerits more than the merits? I think that is where their answer lies. If the disadvantages is more than the advantages, then it gives you an answer that don't do it. But if the merit is more than the demerits, then it gives you an answer that do it. So I think they need to come together and really deliberate on this issue.
Really,
but if all of them, they are 50-50, I'm in support, I'm not in support, it will not help us, honestly. So they need to make sure that they check into it. They need to go deep, the intricacies of it. They don't just have to be on the surface. No.
So we are just hoping that in the coming days we see a new development on this particular issue as to whether Parliament is going to pass the bill or not, in as much as Council of State has given its recommendation that they should hold on and not to pass the bill.
Does the Constitution even allow it?
Does the Constitution allow
for the dual citizenship people to hold office?
As it stands now, it could be an amendment if they want them to or not. So they are amending the Constitution. Is that something you found out there?
Yeah. So it says it's in the same article you read. It says Article 291 of the 1992 Constitution for consideration and advice has added that the Council has completed its review and recommended that Parliament should not proceed with the bill. So it means automatically it's not in the Constitution.
It's not in the Constitution.
Yes. So it says here that under the 1992 Constitution of Ghana, certain public offices are restricted to Ghanaian citizens who do not owe allegiance to another country. So it says it applies to national security, sovereignty, and key state functions. And they should not allow the people. Simple.
So what I have here is the 1992 Constitution of Ghana actually allows dual nationality, but places severe restriction on political and public offices dual citizens can hold. That means that in the Constitution,
they can,
dual citizenship is allowed, but you cannot hold specific offices or political offices at all. And now they are amending the Constitution to allow a dual citizen to hold a political office. So I think that is what the Council of State is opposing and being like, oh, hold on. Because as you mentioned, you have two passports, you have two identities. You get it, you have two identities. It's risky if you ask me. But we'll be delving more into this particular issue in the second segment, so make sure that you stay with us. Now, security recruitment, HIV status alone cannot disqualify applicant, Ghana AIDS Commission. The Ghana AIDS Commission says a person's HIV status alone should not be used as a reason to deny them employment, including in the security services, unless there is a clear medical requirement for the specific job. And according to the Commission's Director of Policy Planning, John Mahama, Section 32 of The Ghana AIDS Commission Act 2016 at 938 protects people living with HIV from discrimination and employment. His comments come after Interior Minister Mutaka Mubarak disclosed that about 1,300 applicants in the recent Security Services recruitment exercise tested positive for HIV during medical screening. Mr. Mahama explained that advances in medical science mean people living with HIV can live healthy lives with proper treatment. He said many countries have reviewed their recruitment policies because of the effectiveness of the antiretroviral therapy. He also referred to the U equals U, which is the undetachable equal to untransmittable principle, which means a person living with HIV who is on effective treatment has an undetachable viral load, cannot sexually transmit the virus. The Ghana AIDS Commission further stressed that an initial reactive HIV test is not the same as the confirmed diagnosis. It said proper confirmatory testing, counseling, and medical support are necessary before any conclusions are made. Mr. Mahama welcomed the decision to release only general statistics from the recruitment exercise rather than individual results, saying it helps protect the privacy of applicants. He added that the Commission is reviewing the matter to determine whether the recruitment process complied with the Ghana AIDS Commission Act. So in a way, it looks like the Ghana AIDS Commission disagree with the Interior Minister that per the statement he made that those that have the HIV are automatically disqualified. Whereas he mentioned an act that says that it's because of this particular act, that is why we amended that particular act, because of some of these things. If you have the virus and you are on effective antiretroviral therapy, you cannot transmit the disease. That means that undetachable is equal to untransmittable. So due to that, those that still have the virus should be given drugs and be allowed to still pursue their dream to be in the security service. Ms. Regina, do you think that will work? You have the virus and you are still allowed to work.
Okay. So yesterday we had this conversation,
Exactly.
and I think after much deliberation, I think I would agree with the AIDS Commission. It's just like people living with disabilities. Does that mean that because they are disabled, automatically they are not fit enough for a job? And looking at these people with disabilities, the stigmatization has been there for a very long time. And the government itself have called on institutions to be employing these people and treat them as humans, because obviously they are humans. When you go to certain institutions in Ghana, they have a path for these people with disabilities. That should tell you that it all boils down to inclusiveness, including these people in their daily activities and normal human phase of life. Now, leaving this individuals 1,300 with HIV, with the training they would be going for, it doesn't in any way say that there would be a contact. Should I say sexual contact or maybe something of that sort? And there's no way they are going there to use each other's personal belongings. They are not going there to be using sharp objects and what have you. So I think, as they said, so far as these people would be on drugs, probably they are being protected.
Yeah.
Yes. So they also have the right to that, because it is their right as citizens of a country to be included in whatever security issues or if anything, enrollment that is going on. So I think they really need to look into it. And besides, yesterday they also came out to say that the 1,300 the Minister of Interior said it's not confirmed.
It's not confirmed.
Yes, they said
And
it's
in
not
another-
confirmed.
It's not confirmed. And in another report, AIDS Commission also cited that looking at the number of people that applied for the security service, which is 100,000 people, and looking at the number of people that the service is saying that they are being infected with HIV is not alarming.
It's not alarming.
It's
Just
not
saying
alarming. And I was like, really? I read properly. I was like, this is not alarming.
Let me check.
That should tell you that it could have been more, but since we have 1,300, and
It's just it's normal to your friend is saying have AIDS, HIV. That is what they are trying to say. I'm trying to look for this one information.
So that means that they are actually comparing the number of people that received and that applied for it, or let me say went through the process, and now the people that have been confirmed to be having the virus. It's not alarming. That means that the number there is lesser, or it could be more. If it is more, then it's very alarming. I don't know if that is what they are trying to mean. But all the same, 1,300 is alarming to me.
It's too much.
Did you find it?
I'm looking for it. Okay. So it says the Ghana AIDS Commission has clarified that the 1,300 HIV test results mentioned by Interior Minister during security recruitment are merely preliminary reactive results. These are not yet confirmed diagnoses. The Ghana AIDS Commission issued a public statement urging officials and the media to distinguish between an initial screening and a confirmed HIV positive diagnosis.
So how then do you chunk the 1,300 people out for them to go and do the test again and now confirm and verify that indeed they actually have the virus?
So they are saying that there's something called false positives. So I think when you have the HIV, it's positive, but when you don't have it, it is negative. So they are saying false positives can occur during preliminary screenings, which is why clinical confirmation is necessary to avoid unnecessary panic and stigma. So they just ruled these people out based on the screenings they did. They didn't go to the hospital, take these people their blood sample to test HIV specifically. When we talk of this screening is overall screening.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen some of this free screening that they do. There's this machine I don't automatically it scans your whole body and sees where fault are. And be normal.
Are you sure that's what they did?
That's what they did.
Are you sure that's what they did? Yeah. So AIDS Commission is saying that as long as these people even have HIV, they should still be allowed to work. They should be recruited. It doesn't mean that they should be automatically disqualified from the security service. We're just hoping that the Interior Minister considered that and, call these people, cancel them, and make sure that they are actively on their drugs. And then
I'm not even sure the Minister of Interior himself knows the people who have it.
Yeah, that's another thing. It's a lot. It's very dicey. Let's proceed to our next news item. Minority demands Ayeni's removal over 350 million Ghana cedis contingency fund withdrawal. The minority in Parliament is calling for the resignation or dismissal of Attorney General and Minister for Justice Dr. Dominic Ayeni over the withdrawal of 350 million Ghana cedis from the contingency fund to support victims of the recent floods. According to the minority, the withdrawal may have breached a court order because the contingency fund was reportedly under a garnish order, a legal order that restricts access funds while a court case is ongoing. The caucus argues that before approving the release of the money, the Attorney General should have gone to court to remove or vary the order instead of allowing the withdrawal to proceed. Speaking to journalists, Deputy Minority Leader Patricia Appiagyei accused the Attorney General of failing to follow the proper legal process and called on President John Dramani Mahama to remove him from office. The minority is also demanding that the Attorney General and the Minister for Finance appear before Parliament to explain the circumstances surrounding the withdrawal. They want government to provide all relevant documents, including the Ganesh order, court records, official correspondence, and evidence showing that the 350 million Ghana cedis was indeed used to support victims of the recent floods. The issue has sparked debate over whether the withdrawal complied with Ghana's financial and legal procedures, whether the withdrawal complied with Ghana's financial and legal procedures, with the minority insisting the full transparency and accountability results of this. Minority. They are calling on President John Dramani Mahama to dismiss the Attorney General for breaching a law or breaching a court's order by going into the coffers of the contingency fund despite a court order, because there are issues pertaining that contingency fund. So they are calling on they are calling on President John Dramani Mahama to dismiss him, and they are calling on the Minister for Finance and also Dr. Dominic Ayeni to come and, answer to certain questions before Parliament. Ms. Regina,
was it the same approval that President John Dramani Mahama gave?
Yeah.
For them to go ahead and allocate, I think that one was 300 million Ghana cedis.
350
million Ghana cedis
to flood victims.
Then they should sack Mahama too. They should tell Mahama to leave.
Does that mean that the president also doesn't know that there's a court order on that fund?
Probably. Because a contingency fund is a fund set aside to tackle unexpected issues. An issue that is not stated in any budget. That is why it is there. So if there's a court issue, who knew? Did you know about any court issue?
Well, I haven't found out.
Which I haven't found out. So if both of us we've not found out, then it means, should I say these people are lying to us? Okay. I wouldn't say they are lying to us. But are they trying to tell us that they are supposed to use this money to help these victims, to relieve them of whatever stress they are already going through? Because the money is there and there's a court issue, they shouldn't touch the money. And besides, this is our first time of hearing of this, that the contingency fund is then under court restriction, whatever. This is my first time. I think if President John Dramani Mahama knew, and if Dr. Dominic Ayeni also knew, there's no way they would touch it. Because Ayeni is a man of the law, and he believes in the law. He respects the law. So there's no way they would go against what a court is saying. And even that is contempt of courts. But sometimes I feel like you need to go against all odds to make sure that your people are okay. A true leader and a good leader does that. They can even starve themselves to make sure that the people are satisfied. Looking at this flood issue that hits Ghana on 29th June, it is not an issue to joke with. And we should be expecting more of it. So they should also be expecting that we will be taking all the money all the time. Because if there is money, the people can't suffer. People have lost everything. Their whole lives of struggle, people have lost it in that rain. And you are telling us about a court order. The court should know that this is what is happening. This is a natural disaster. China also.
Well, so there's an active court order on the fund. Both the Ghanaian judiciary and the government's own chief legal advisor have confirmed that the contingency fund is under a legally binding Ganesh order. And in an official memo dated July 1st, 2026, addressed to the governor of the Bank of Ghana, Attorney General Dr. Dominic Ayeni wrote, I am aware that the contingency fund is presently the subject of a garnish proceeding. This confirms that a judgment creditor successfully sued the state and secured a court order attaching the fund to satisfy a judgment's debt. Yeah, so because a court issued a garnish order against the fund, the account is legally enjoined and frozen under the Ghanaian civil procedure.
So how come they were able to withdraw
The money? Exactly. If indeed the account
was
is
frozen. How have you seen something that is frozen being unfrozen before? How is that possible, honestly?
But should that alone account for his removal?
We've seen individuals that have squandered the Ghanaians' money, that have boldly, taking the taxpayers' money to do their own selfish thing. Former finance minister Ken Oforiatta, up to now, where is he? When they were calling for his removal, did they remove him? Was he removed? The betting tax, e-levy tax, COVID tax, what was that money used for? We didn't see anything useful with that money. Nothing was accounted for. National Cathedral, a huge sum of money was invested in that thing. But when you go there currently, there's nothing to show for it. Say, Bibini na man says, Kanaka by now we see mansion. But that money, nothing was allowed. When you go there, it's just a shallow pit that is there. Where is that money? That one cry, he was not sacked. He enjoyed all his food time before he left the country. And here lies the case. Dr. Dominic Ayeni did not use the money for his personal gain. They used it, and in fact, this one, the president, the overall, the gentleman of the land himself approved it, that they should go ahead and withdraw that money to make sure that the people who were affected by the floods are able to at least calm down.
One question I'm asking is, so where were they expecting the government to get the money from?
Maybe from their pockets.
Because if such a disaster has actually happened to a quite number of people, government intervention should be a priority, that these people are well catered for, and relief items are sent to these people.
They are the same people. If government doesn't do anything, they will come out to condemn it. So now what is their problem? So the money should just be lying there and people should be suffering. The people who lost their precious ones in the flood, is it more important than that court order on that contingency flood fund? People lost their lives. Children who have bright future. When you see the video, it is alarming, very sad. And this video would be on the internet forever. These parents will come and see it each and every time there is flood. People will be bringing that video.
Immediately it rains, they will remember.
Exactly.
Immediately it starts raining.
Do you know the number of people who are traumatized because of the flooding? Massa.
So you think is the bad time to even talk about this?
That withdrawal of the money, it's justifiable. Where they are to
Ms. Regina, thank you so much for joining me right here on the News Review. Up next, we have Today in History with her.
Bringing you Today in History and some global observances with me. On this day, 2011, South Sudan officially declared its independence from Sudan. Born out of the 2005 Comprehensive Peace Agreement, this historic separation followed a landmark referendum where 99% of Southern voters chose secession, officially making it Africa's 54th nation and the world's youngest internationally recognized country. The separation ended Africa's longest-running civil war, concluding decades of conflict. Today, South Sudan is recognized as the 93rd member of the United Nations. 1846, the U.S. takes San Francisco from Mexico. Captured San Francisco from Mexico during the Mexican-American War. U.S. Navy Captain John B. Montgomery landed at the small settlement then known as Yerba Buena and raised the American flag in Portsmouth Square. The name was officially changed to San Francisco shortly after in January 1847. This occupation was formalized when Mexico officially ceded California and the border region to the United States 2 years later through the Treaty of Guadalupe in 1848. In 1915, Germans surrender Southwest Africa to Union of South Africa. Go back. German colonial forces, the Schutztruppe, led by Lieutenant Colonel Victor Frank, formally surrendered to the Union of South Africa at the town of Octovie. The surrender followed the swift 6-month military campaign orchestrated by South African Prime Minister General Louis Botha. The South African campaign successfully dismantled the German Empire in the territory known then as German Southwest Africa, now Namibia. Despite facing international divisions and the Afrikaner Rebellion in late 1914, a South African defense force of nearly 50,000 men accomplished this strategic imperial objective. Looking at some few global observances, today we have Fashion Day. To celebrate clothing as an art form, a tool for personal identity, and a global language of creativity, it highlights how everyday fashion allows individuals to express themselves without words while celebrating the cultural diversity behind the industry. Lastly, we have World Misophonia Awareness Day. It honors the memory of Michela Delville, a 17-year-old who died by suicide after suffering from misophonia. The day unites global organizations to eliminate stigma, promote clinical research, and support those distressed by everyday sounds. Misophonia affects up to 5% of adults. It is a disorder characterized by a decreased tolerance to specific sounds, triggering overwhelming physical and emotional responses such as anger, anxiety, or disgust. Common triggers include everyday noises like chewing, sniffing, breathing, or keyboard tapping. So misophonia is all about people who hate sounds. Yes. And that's all for today on Today in History and some global observances live on Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
Thank you so much, Miss Regina Bless, for Today in History and some observances of the day. And thank you too for joining us on the first segment of the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. We'll be going for the morning news shortly, and right after that, we'll be back. Please stick and stay with us.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with Ghana Talks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With Ghana Talks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. Ghana Talks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. Ghana Talks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
We bring business news, international, sports, and entertainment news. Right here on GTR.
Hello, good morning. You are tuning to GhanaTalks Radio. We are bringing you the morning news with me, Zainab Ali. Coming up, government shifts focus to revenue efficiency, rules out new taxes. Kwesi Pratt slammed Ghana of Ramaphosa visit mishaps. Not even the president can stop us. MPP pour Yandor fumes over nationwide cleanup clash. There's another news from business, sports, entertainment, and international news coming up to you this morning. In a major policy shift, President John Dramani Mahama has declared that his administration will prioritize maximizing tax collection, compliance, and purging system leakage over the introduction of new tax burdens. The announcement was made during a courtesy call by the Kwewu Business Advocacy Group at the Jubilee House. President Mahama emphasized that administrative efficiency is now the primary tool for domestic revenue mobilization. Addressing the delegation, President Mahama highlighted that several highly controversial levies have already been dismantled to provide breathing room for citizens and business community. President Mahama confirmed the removal of nauseous taxes like the COVID levy and e-levy to ease burdens on citizens. Key reforms including the repeal of electronic transfer levy, the COVID-19 health recovery levy, the 10% burden tax, and emission levy. Additionally, VAT has been rationalized to 20% to stimulate economic activity. Instead of new taxes, the government is leveraging technology to enhance the Ghana Revenue Authority. President Mahama noted that improved efficiency as collected eliminate the needs of additional sanction mounts between the local waste management enforcement teams and opposition loyalists. This standoff set up a delicate constitutional friction between public health mandates and political freedoms, with both sides refusing to back down. The upcoming weekend will serve as a volatile test of compliance, political resilience, and governance.
We've removed some of the taxes that Ghanaians described as nuisance taxes. And so the COVID levy is gone, the e-levy is gone, and we're working to rationalize the other taxes. And so overall, the indirect taxes, that is value-added taxes, have come down from 21-point-something% to 20%. Now we're concentrating on efficiency in collecting the taxes, because we believe that if we collect the taxes more efficiently, we don't need to introduce new taxes. And so what we're concentrating on is efficiency in collecting the taxes. And I'm sure that if we collect the taxes more efficiently and government is making more revenue, we can begin to bring down the incidence of tax and the burden on our people. I believe that in a few years, if in the next 2-3 years, our efficiency in collecting taxes is improving, I mean, there's no reason why we can't reduce the corporate income tax and bring it lower so that business people can be able to reinvest some of the money that they pay to the government.
Veteran journalist Kwesi Pratt Jr. has heavily criticized the Ghanaian government for its untidy handling of the postponed state visit by South African President Cyril Ramaphosa, warning that contradictory official narratives are damaging international relations. Pratt urged the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to provide immediate transparency amid rising diplomatic tension following anti-migrant violence in South Africa, which recently led to the death of the Ghanaian nationals and forced mass evacuation. Pratt expressed deep concern over the breakdown of structured African diplomacy and confusing sequence of events presented to the public. Initial state report indicated that Ghana firmly deferred the August 2026 visit to protest the mistreatment of its citizens. However, subsequent official statements shifted the narrative, leading to widespread speculation and public anxiety regarding the actual status of bilateral ties. The diplomatic friction intensified as the Ghanaian government managed the emergency airlifting of over 1,000 citizens back from South Africa. The crisis has also triggered domestic political pressure, with the minority in parliament demanding an urgent executive briefing on the safety of Ghanaians abroad and future of Ghana-South Africa cooperation. Pratt concluded that the government's conflicting explanation reflects poorly on Ghana's foreign policy machinery. He emphasized that resolving the diplomatic rifts requires clear, honest communication rather than damage control, urging both nations to handle the crisis with the seriousness it deserves to protect migrants' lives and restore regional stability. The New Patriotic Party Ashanti Regional Communication Director Paul Kwabena Yando has vowed to defy government's upcoming nationwide cleanup exercise, declaring that scheduled internal party election will proceed regardless of the state restriction. The political standoff erupted after the Mahama administration slated the mandatory national sanitation drive on the exact same date as the opposition party's long-planned internal polls. The conflict centers on a direct calendar clash between civic duty and political organization. The presidency's two-day Clean Up Ghana Save Life initiative aimed to clear the drains and prevent post-flood diseases outbreak, but its mandatory lockdown hours directly overlap with the MPP voting timeline. Fuming over the directive, Yando publicly stated that Ghana is not for NDC alone, warning that the state-enforced movement bans would not be allowed to freeze their democratic process. While Parliament has suspended sitting to support the cleanup, the MPP remains completely unyielding. Opposition organizers argue that using executive health mandate to disrupt an opposition election undermines fair political play. This dispute set up a volatile weekend confrontation between public health enforcement and political freedom, with neither side backing down. The exercise will test the boundaries of executive power and opposition resilience.
Now, my penny yes, he was a young funny clean up who said then. That's what the 2 days if yes, Friday and Saturday. Friday.
Let me check it.
Check it. I think say 11th and 12th. What you say? Now me person me the message we Emma your man penny president John Mahama. So be team ya own team ye. Or mine enya NDC for there. Or mine political parties no. I was say at a point you tolerate party for. Only must say on the 11th and 12th of July and a party, MPP party here to Yaba. It's so in the mind of the president, MPP in Tiasi. Me say in the mind of the president, you know, you are talking to Ontiye. Ontiye, say MPP for on the 11th and 12th. Would your question was here for a clean up exercise? Meaning, Asema make a chair MPP for say, and more Biabamu. Not even the president can stop us from your prime minister. Constitute very important democratic process.
Friday and Saturday. Friday and Saturday.
Now Saturday no near to about. We'll be here to the Swaba. Saturday no. And then Friday.
2 days no.
Minya obi a ya to ne Swaba Saturday. And then we go clean up. Ya mopa. Minya say ya intimate postpone 1st of July. What they call two showers of blessing. Showers in the kuni pano dia. Sa so and also to me a postponing with. What did the air can I say?
Thank you.
What did the air can I say? But at the air cost and show sign of a good leader. Inclusiveness.
Public financial management expert Derek Opare Asamoah has formally petitioned the Council of State to intervene against calls to deny the renewal of Goldfields Ghana Limited's mining lease for its Takwa operations. The petition submitted in July 2026 warned that an administrative refusal of the extension will devastate the indigenous business ecosystem and trigger severe capital flight across Ghana's mining sector. The development follows intense pressure from the Institute of Economic Affairs, led by the former Chief Justice Sophia Akufu, urging the government to reject the 20-year extension to reclaim local ownership of the mine. The core conflict stemmed from a growing resource nationalism debate regarding the Takwa mine, a premier asset whose current lease expires in April 2027, while local policy think tanks and civil society groups push for the state and indigenous takeover. Asamoah's petition highlights that arbitrary denial would crash existing Ghanaian companies. Major local entities like Zen Petroleum, Engineers and Planners, Western Transport Services, and Gensa Energy has deeply integrated into Goldfields supply chain, which relies on 93% local procurement. The petition emphasizes that a sudden administrative shutdown would dismantle this thriving domestic network rather than empower them. Furthermore, the petition sounds the alarm on Ghana's deteriorating investment climate, noting country's recent drop in global mining attractiveness ranking due to policy uncertainty. Instead of blanket denial, the expert recommends a strategic negotiation model similar to Botswana's partnership with Dabwana, where the state acquire additional equity through the Minerals Income Investment Fund. It also proposes a mandatory mining community development fund and a structured national resources participation strategy to allegedly drive local ownership without jeopardizing investor confidence. The Council of State must now weigh this economic warning against nationalist political pressures as the government continues to debate whether it will grant the extensions. With sports, the Ghana Football Association has firmly denied claims that it abandoned former Black Star midfield Charles Taylor in the United States during the 2026 FIFA World Cup. GFA Executive Council member Frederick Echampo, popularly known as Fred Echi, publicly clarified that GFA President Kurt Okweku only assisted the football legend with his U.S. visa acquisition. He emphasized that the football governing body did not promise or provide travel tickets, match entry, or financial package. The controversy erupted after Charles Taylor released a viral video alleging he was stranded in the United States. He claimed that the GFA President Kurt Okweku personally invited him to the World Cup, promising full financial backing, flight tickets, and per diem. According to Taylor, the GFA failed to secure his return ticket, leaving him without the funds to return to Ghana. He also claimed he was excluded from match events and had to rely on random football fans to give him a ticket to watch Ghana's group stage match against England, and that his subsequent bump to reach GFA official went unanswered. Speaking during a debunked Taylor narrative, he insisted that Taylor made the trip entirely on his own accord, Achi clarified that Okweku only used his office to fast-track Taylor's visa application as a courtesy to a national legend. He maintained that funding the ex-player personal travel expenses was never part of the agreement. The dispute has severely divided Ghanaian football fans online. Critics of the GFA argue that the national hero who played 29 matches for the Black Stars deserved better treatment for the nation's football administrators. Conversely, supporters of the GFA stance point out a major logical flaw in Taylor's claim, noting that U.S. immigration laws strictly require visitors to present a pre-booked return flight ticket before being permitted entry to the country. The GF has indicated any plan to fund the ticket for the former player. Ghanaian dancehall star Stonebwoy has reflected on the most harrowing choice of his musical career, detailing how his heavily pregnant wife, Dr. Louisa, was slashed with a knife by unknown assailants right before he took the stage. The traumatic security breach occurred in September 2017 backstage at the Sakasaka Park in Ashaiman, just minutes before the musician headline performed at his highly anticipated record-breaking Ashaiman to the World concert. The attack targeted Stonebwoy himself, but the blade pierced through his dressing, tent fabric, and instead struck his wife on her back while she was pregnant with their first daughter, Catherine. Stonebwoy opened up about the emotional turmoil he endured as a performer that night. While his bleeding wife was rushed to the hospital by emergency medical personnel, the dancehall icon was forced to hold back his panic and step into the spotlight to fulfill his entertainment obligation. At the time of the stabbing, Dr. Louisa was a medical house officer at the 37 Military Hospital and heavily pregnant. While the targeted attack initially sparked internet speculation regarding venue safety and artist rivalries, the incident ultimately ended without further medical complication. Dr. Louisa safely recovered from the physical wound, and the couple went on to welcome their healthy daughter, Catherine. A few months later, reflecting on the threat years later, Stonebwoy maintained profound gratitude for his family's survivor, emphasizing that the scars left behind as a permanent reminder of the immense pressure and unpredictability of his profession. On global updates, a massive international search and rescue operation is underway following the sudden mid-flight disappearance of Boeing 737 cargo aircraft off the southern coast of Pakistan. According to the aviation authorities, the freighter plane carrying a crew of 5 personnel abruptly dropped off regional civilian radar tracking screens during the early hours of Wednesday morning while flying over the international waters. Air traffic controllers confirmed that the flight crew did not broadcast any emergency mayday calls or signals indicating technical distress before communication was completely severed. The Boeing 737 cargo jet was conducting a scheduled commercial flight routine when the transponder transmission ceased. Marine patrol units, naval vessels, and aerial search fleets from surrounding territories have been deployed to the last known coordinate where the aircraft tracking pin was registered. 5 individuals were confirmed on board the cargo transport vessel. Their identities and nationalities are being withheld pending formal family notification. Naval ships equipped with specialized sonar tracking are mapping the oceanic terrain to look for potential debris fields or emergency locator transmitter signals. Weather reports along the international flight corridor were noted as standard, leaving investigators to look into unexpected mechanical failures or catastrophic structural anomalies. Aviation Safety Board has requested the aircraft's comprehensive maintenance logs, focusing on recent structural inspection and engine overhauls, as cargo freighters are often older airframe converted from passenger configuration. Investigators will carefully scrutinize the pressurized hull flight cycle history. Representative from Boeing states they are monitoring the situation closely and stand ready to provide technical support to regional investigation team as soon as the crash site or flight taking recorders are located. The sudden disappearance of Boeing 737 cargo jet has triggered immediate safety concern within the international air logistics industry, with emergency crew facing vast challenging expanses of open water. The priority remains locating the flight crew and recovering the flight data recorders to determine what triggered the sudden silent failure over international waters. This is where we draw the curtains on today's morning news with me, Zainab Ali. Goodbye.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with GhanaTalks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With GhanaTalks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. GhanaTalks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. GhanaTalks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries.
Koko Nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare,
Regina Bless,
Deborah Adoso,
and I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
Ghana Talks Radio, UK, Abrochimemu, era from Ghana Muha at the sound system, which is spinning machine papa, a free amana never be go among Ghana Muha. It is a year, we engagement, we wedding, we birthday party. Political parties are more rally, some sorry, more crusade. So we'll book carnival or any kind of event. Now we'll pay spinning machine papa a boa sound in the moo at the dia and you may come for GTR sounds at the Emao. Your live band in so I would to answer at the frame ya beat me abababua. Ama ujumedia woody and so at me I come up. Yawa enkan pumpuni mantemo anya aponchi hotel a hope pepe ena yebutu odi an se wo be frɛ mpanifo ɛwɔ 0546960510 GTR sounds emu wode angaza
interviews, inspiration, and great conversations. From Accra to the world, we bring the fresh stories, fresh energy every morning, full of fire and glory. Rise and shine.
This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
Your day begins when the voices align. GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. Your daily dose, here we go. GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. Only on GhanaTalks Radio. Turn it up and stay tuned for the talk that moves you and keeps your heart in tune. From the traffic to the trends, we got something for your day. Every voice, every vision, lighting up the way.
GhanaTalks Radio.
Rise and shine. Come join the line.
This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. GhanaTalks Breakfast Show.
This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
Cause on it, where the spark inside the flame, from the first light to the last mile. Stay with us a while.
This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. You're welcome back to your favorite online radio station. And we are streaming live on Facebook at GhanaTalks Radio TV, on YouTube at GhanaTalks Radio, and also on X at GhanaTalks Radio. All you need to do is just download the app or get your phone, get data, move to our social media, any of our social media, Facebook, YouTube, or X. Just log on to GhanaTalks Radio and you will see us there. We are streaming live on Facebook at GhanaTalks Radio TV, on X at GhanaTalks Radio, and also on YouTube at GhanaTalks Radio. Do also log on, send in your comments. Let's get interactive right here on the show. And it's a cloudy Thursday morning, and according to the Ghana Meteo, it looks like the weather is going to be foggy and a bit cloudy this morning. And looking at the weather this morning, it actually looks like, this one there is confirmed. It's confirmed. Miss Regina will say it's confirmed. Due to the previous ones that they'll send us text messages, oh, it will rain, and then, people will be so scared due to the flood that happened on the 29th. But this time around, you can see the weather for yourself. I think maybe there's a probability it could even drizzle, just as they mentioned in the reports. But make sure that wherever you find yourself, you stay safe. Okay, stay safe. Miss Regina, stay safe. All right, so before we delve into the second segment of the morning show, as you know how we do it, Miss Regina and I this morning will be here to delve into some interesting news headlines. Okay, lunch on me, and I wear breakfast on me. Who paid you, Papa?
My dear, my love language. Oh,
yes. So, Miss Regina is so excited because I told her that I was going to, sponsor breakfast this morning, because I put her out of breakfast, to join me this morning on the show to look at some interesting news item before my guests join me for the second segment of the show. Miss G?
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
I'm good. Your side?
I'm good. I'm okay. Yesterday I didn't sleep early. Oh.
Why?
I don't know. I just couldn't sleep.
We didn't have lights.
Oh, sorry. Unfortunately, I just couldn't sleep. I woke up at 2 a.m. until morning. I haven't been able to sleep. I was just reading and reading and reading. When I woke up and then it was light, I was like, is this a sign? God telling me to rest? And then I saw that it was back in a few minutes. Yeah, so that is it. Let's get into the news items this morning. Parliament approves community service bill to reduce custodial sentencing. Parliament approves community service bill to reduce custodial sentencing. Parliament has passed the Community Service Bill 2026, establishing a National Community Service Secretariat and introducing community service as an alternative to custodial sentences for persons convicted of specified categories of offences. The legislation creates a legal and institutional framework for the implementation of community service with the aim of expanding sentencing options available to the courts while reducing the country's reliance on imprisonment for minor and specified offences. The bill was presented to Parliament by Minister for the Interior Mutaka Mubarak Mohammed on the March 4, 2026, in accordance with Article 106 Clause 1 of the 1992 Constitution, which subsequently referred to the Committee on Defense and Interior for consideration in a report. According to the committee's report, Ghana's criminal justice system has traditionally relied heavily on custodial sentences as the primary form of punishment for convicted persons, a practice that has contributed to persistent overcrowding in prisons. The report said the situation has placed considerable strain on the Ghana Prison Service and increased government expenditure on inmate maintenance, healthcare, feeding, and prison infrastructure. It noted that the Community Service Bill forms part of broader criminal justice reforms being pursued by the Ministry of the Interior to prioritize non-custodial sentencing. The objective, the report said, is to provide appropriate alternatives to imprisonment for minor and specified offences, promote the rehabilitation of offenders, reduce recidivism, and facilitate their reintegration into society. According to the committee, efforts to develop a structured non-custodial sentencing regime began in 2014, when the Ministry of the Interior, with support from the United Nations Children's Funds, UNICEF, initiated the formulation of a non-custodial sentencing policy. The report said the new law gives effect to non-custodial sentencing provisions under the Criminal and Other Offences Procedure Act 1960 at 30 and the Interpretation Act 2009 at 792. It added that the legislation will broaden the range of sentencing options available to the judicial, strengthen Ghana's criminal justice system, and improve the efficiency management of correctional facilities. Yes, so this is from Parliament. Finally, they have passed the Community Service Bill to reduce custodial sentences, and this is set to reduce expenditure in terms of healthcare, infrastructure, and also feeding on inmates in the prison service. So the long and tail of all this reading of the article that I've just read is that with little offenses, you'll be allowed to work in the community. You wouldn't be taken to, prisons. When it happens like that, you add too much burden to the government. And I'll propose that they should start the sell tender or Doris. Miss Regina?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it was there, but
Yeah.
I don't know what really happened.
In 2014?
Yeah. There are certain offenses that are not even supposed to, in the first place, stress lawyers, judges waste their times.
What are some of these offenses?
Some of these offenses, Obiako we are broad there. Obiako we are 5 cities. Obiako wedding. What else? We are phone. We are goat. Goats. Obiako na yamane 5 years. 14 years, 10 years. Na omo moti abemo mu we scan. Omo nam ho free of charge. They are not being held accountable. So I think it is very important that they bring this back. And as he said, we have a lot of way Even say Friday ni echina ni Saturday this general clean na mokoye. Na kono mat so mo esikrom. Monkoye.
Yeah. But do you think it would be a good idea to release the inmates?
Baby, if they are guarded, why not?
Yeah.
They can do it. Yeah, they can do it. Because some of these people, I think the people who have a few days or a few weeks or month to leave the prison yard, they bring these people out to be reading the roadside, the bushy areas. They read it, and these people have guards. So I think some of these offenses, minor offenses, needs to be punished. So by punishing them, you subject them to these communal activities. I've seen instances where the AMA has arrested some people for dumping refuse and also disposing their feces in open areas, and these people are being fined. Sometimes 500 cedis, 1,000 cedis. You are supposed to pay. Some of them, if you can't pay it, that is where you are supposed to go to prison. And looking at some of these criminal cases where these individuals go to steal some of these petty things, they are being fined though, but they don't have the money to pay it. So if you are being fined and you can't pay, that is what results to you being taken to prison. So now, instead of you to find these people, just use them anyhow you want. Use them. Now, have you seen the trend of Ghanaians when they catch a thief? They don't beat them. So the rest you work.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Bakubi amihoti gatema omuye no mani nsuo nyu no ye ana mo sama ni benku ne nkatenkwan. And odi we na mo se to aso. About to aso, now you have the energy to aso. It is better than you being beaten to pulp. There's this video on TikTok. He's a very young boy. He has this auto voice. I don't know if you've seen him. He has an auto voice. He has been to Naname's show before.
Oh, okay.
When he speaks as a
auto-tune,
that keyboard sound, maybe that's how he speaks. Apparently, he went to steal mango.
Oh, come on.
And the person caught him. The person bono. Internal bleeding. The boy died. Mango.
Oh, come on.
You've killed someone's son because of mango. That very intelligent boy. If he was outside the country, do you know how they would be using him? But Ghana, we don't really pay attention to such talent. But when you're outside the country, it's a very big blow. Look at Jarvis, Nigerian Jarvis. Her talent. If it's Ghana, you found few. So I think it's important that they bring back the community service. Yes, we have. See, when you go to this Jamestown area, that place is very dirty.
Even especially when you go to the roadside, just this roadside, just on the pavement alone, there's so much weeds. The place is bushy.
You get it.
When it happens like that, you're unable to see the other vehicle coming from the other lane.
And it's dangerous.
They should deploy these people. They should put them on the streets.
They should go and cut it.
They should just go.
But we can't be waiting for these inmates each and every time to be cutting this weeds. The people are out there. And I think they should, with this bill that they are bringing on, they should start from the prison yard there. There are lots of people who are just there that are not really doing anything. Their crime is not really that huge. I know crime is crime, but you have difference of crime. There's no way someone who has killed and someone who has just gone to steal a just single phone is the same. So those people need to be taken out. The prison yard is a correctional center. So I believe that the period of time they've already spent there has corrected them enough. You advise them as you are coming out, make sure that you turn a new leaf. You can make sure that you set these people with patrol team. There are some people at the end of the day when they leave the prison yard, they don't just have their freedom just like that. A period of 1 year, these people are monitoring you. Are you doing what you're supposed to do? They'll tell you to go and find a job. And at the end of the day, either every woman, they go ask, the behavior to saying yeah, they'll take you back again. That is what these Western worlds are doing. But our prison yard is choked. It's more even now till sardine. The sardine that is coming up now, it has spaces in it. But when you go to the prison, it is very choked. They use the big room where they are. They use it to do almost everything. One person who went to prison and came out said, like
the prison center is actually overcrowded, and government is I wouldn't say waste, but government is actually spending money on these
it's
people.
wasting,
because healthcare, if one person in that room is sick, it's the responsibility of the government to make sure that that person is well in terms of feeding and even infrastructure. And less now, because the place is overcrowded, they want to expand the building and build more correctional center for these people. So I think deploying these people, the court is allowed to give an order that go to this community, go and do communal labor, go and do this
for 3 months, 6 months.
In as much as it's a good one, it's a good policy, it's a good bill that the government has brought on board, because it's going to save the taxpayer a lot of money, because it's the taxpayers' money they used to pay this. They used to fed and take care of these people. Do you think that it is enough punishment and it's going to deter others from doing the same thing?
I think it will deter these individuals, because their crimes are just petty crimes. Obi a Korea broad, obi a Korea banch, obi a Korea punching, obi a Korea phone. Obi we are 5 cedis, 10 cedis. Nani pani demo for a very long time. So I think it is enough punishment to deter other people. But I feel like the punishment should not just be a simple punishment. It should be a punishment that would drain these people at
a very harsh hour.
Exactly, to drain them. Now I can say, but had I known is always at last. So I think they really need to use these people. When you go to Burkina Faso, some of these inmates are being used for agricultural, your friend is saying,
and farmland.
Exactly. But here they are just there. They are nothing.
Enjoying.
They are not really
enjoying,
yes.
But
their freedom has been taken away from them. Looking at this tomato and ginger issues we are having, why not use these people there? Get a big farmland for them. More so they should utilize their time. And at the end of the day, in as much as they are utilizing their time, government is also benefiting from them. You see the value of the money you are investing in these people, because as you said, they will get sick. You need to cater for them. They would have to eat. Just when President John Dramani Mahama came into power, he increased their feeding fee. So they really need to use these people. And also, they shouldn't serve as another form of encouragement for these criminals. To think
that's
that
also another thing.
Exactly. To think that, oh, it's they won't go prison into no. At the end of the day, no. It's a no. So if probably they can detain them for like 2 months, let them face the reality of prison life. Then they come out and them. Still, you release them, then they'll still do a period of either 1 year or 6 months. I think it's good.
It's good. So what this new law means is that, what this new law means is that people convicted of minor crimes in Ghana will work to improve their neighborhoods instead of going to jail. Judges can now order community work for minor offenses, just as we have said. Convicted individuals will clean public places, plant trees, or maintain infrastructure. And offenders stay with their families and keep their jobs while paying back society. So it stops Ghana's prison from overflowing with people who committed small crimes, minor little crime. Just as Miss Regina mentioned that someone stole mango, someone has stolen a goat, and the person is still in remand, still in prison. You are just occupying space there. And the government spends less money on feeding, housing, and providing health care for these inmates. And working in the community prevents minor offenders from learning worse criminal behavior inside prison. Because when you go to the prisons, there's a lot of maltreatment there. So, I mean, the government's saving you. Let me say, the government is actually saving you from a lot of frustration, if you ask me, to come out and then come and work. It's just like you being in your community and there's a communal labor and they tell you that, oh, come and weed this side. But just that it happens that you are going to do it alone, or he's even going to come with a more harsher one. So I think it's a good one. Government's bill to introduce the community service bill is actually a good one. Let's proceed to our next news item. Minority opposes revival of tribunal court once against political persecution. I think a day before yesterday, or even yesterday, we discussed this, and then we mentioned that it's a good call if we are going to revive tribunals, where it's being divided into two parts, the district tribunals and also the regional tribunals, whereas bigger crimes or smaller crimes are going to be dealt with in these tribunals in our district or regional spaces, rather than going all the way to the high court with certain minor cases. It was a good call until we are hearing from the minority, and they are opposing the revival of tribunal courts, and they are warning against political persecution. Let's get into the story. The minority in parliament has opposed the reintroduction of tribunal courts, arguing that it could become an avenue for creating jobs for party loyalists to jail opponents.
The tribunal court.
Minority. The minority in parliament has opposed the reintroduction of tribunal courts, arguing that it could become an avenue for creating jobs for party loyalists to jail opponents. The caucus insists that the existing court structure under the Fourth Republic, which includes district magistrates courts, circuit courts, high courts, and the Court of Appeal and the Supreme Court, should rather be strengthened to improve justice delivery. Contributing to the debate on the Tribunals Bill 2026, the Member of Parliament for Damango, Samuel Jinapo, questioned the need for establishing additional courts when the current judicial institutions could be expanded and better resourced. He argued that instead of creating new judicial bodies, the government should invest in building more court facilities, appointing more judges, and recruiting additional judicial staff to address delays in the justice system. He said, and in his words, "Why additional courts, Mr. Speaker? With the greatest of respect, why do we Why additional courts, Mr. Speaker? With the greatest of respect, why do we like to create new institutions every now and then? We have high courts. Why have regional tribunals?" he said. Mr. Jinapo said Ghana could address challenges within the judiciary by following the approach of the previous administration, which he noted invested in the construction of several court complexes across the country. Build more court complexes, recruit more judges, recruit more judicial staff, and if you want a jury system, let's have a jury system. The Damango MP further expressed concerns that the proposed tribunal system could be exploited for political purposes, cautioning against the creation of institutions that could be used to target opponents of a certain government. He maintained that Ghana should rely on its existing judicial framework, describing the proposed regional tribunals as a return to a system that could evoke bad memories, scary memories, and intimidation. Meanwhile, the Attorney General and Minister for Justice, Dr. Dominic Ayeni, says the reintroduction of the tribunal court system is aimed at providing ordinary Ghanaians with greater access to the justice delivery system. He assured that any excesses associated with the tribunal system will be addressed with its procedures guided by the prosecution of the Constitution. So this is from the Damango MP. All he's saying is that Why is it that we have to be creating additional courts and additional tribunals when we have the circuit courts, the high courts, the court of appeal? Why don't we employ more judges, more lawyers, and expand the infrastructure rather than creating a new one? When it happens like that, it's going to look like you are providing jobs for party boys, party loyalists, who are going to use that particular court to target opponents. Mr. Damango.
So when we look at tribunal courts, a tribunal court is a special court or legal body set up to hear and decide specific kinds of cases. Unlike regular courts, tribunals usually deal with particular issues or disputes and are often less formal. So looking at the high courts, the circuit court, or any of these courts. Yes, courts. Looking at this court, they deal with formal issues, but the tribunal court has been set aside so that it will deal with less formal issues like employment disputes, tax matters, land disputes, election petitions, corruption or misconduct cases, and human rights complaints. So
all these will be dealt in
at
the
tribunal court. Okay. Yes. So I'm sure looking at the election petitions, corruption or misconduct, that is why they are saying this will give work for the loyal parties.
Party loyalists.
Party loyalists too. Okay, I now understand.
You get where he's coming from. But let's not forget that our courts are actually choked.
Exactly.
And there are lots of backlog cases.
Exactly.
Someone has actually sent their cases to court. And like for several years or for 7 years now, those cases have not been held because there's pressure on the courts. So they are trying to decentralize it, to send some of these cases to these tribunals so that there'll be speedy justice. But minority, what do you think is a concrete reason as to why they should actually
It is not a concrete reason. This court is not being set because of NPP.
Or any political party.
Yes, or any political party. As you said, it is decentralized the courts. Now the court is so much choked to a point where I believe that when you even go say, oh, this is my case, they'll tell you, say, your docket is missing. And this is not the first time. We've heard a lot that at the end of the day, some people get their dockets missing. So just imagine someone who has been remanded for over, is it 1 year, 2 years, 3 years?
Yeah.
Now I can say, oh, it is time for you to open my case again. Then they will tell you that your case or your docket is missing. It means you will spend the rest of your life there. Because there is nothing that shows, say, wasem woho. So, omoye dendi wasem. So, you will enjoy your life in prison. So, I think this is the time where they need to decentralize it. Because looking at the high court, circuit court, every little thing, it goes there. Every little thing, it goes there. And just yesterday, a friend of mine called, say, wako report you obi, wako Malam Junction, wako far passengers na. Papa, also it's a station master, all born assume. Oh. Wabona sumo no so akọ reporting. So just imagine wakọ reporting no. And also so akọ dane another case. So these are some of the issues where it needs to be channeled to the tribunal courts. That is why the court is there. So I think it's very important. Now, aside the high court and the circuit courts being choked, the Supreme Court is also choked. But the Supreme Court should not also be choked. Every issue should be handled at the high court and the circuit court. But no, Obi Waha, he or she doesn't even believe in the final verdict of these high courts and circuit courts. So the moment they get any court issue, they'll take it straight to the Supreme Court. But the Supreme Court should be the last option, like the last on. I say you are in school and you have an issue with your classmate. You talk to the person. If it still persists, you take it to your class teacher. If it still persists, you take it to your deputy manager, your head teacher. If it still persists, then it goes to the higher authority. That is how it's supposed to be done. But no, some people they'll just jump whoo-wah, like aviator.
So I think during one of press conferences with Alvin Bagbin, he mentioned that it looks like the Supreme Court is actually losing its power gradually, because certain cases that the High Court and the Court of Appeal can actually deal with are being sent to the Supreme Court. And when it happens like that, the authority of the Supreme Court is gradually depreciating.
Yeah.
So I think people need to be educated that with those specific cases, take it to this court. With this specific one, take it to this one.
And they shouldn't accept.
They shouldn't accept
the cases
it.
that comes.
Sometimes, if they know that this particular case, it can be handled as a smaller cause, because of the money, they'll take it and then put that case somewhere. They'll add it to the backlogs. So I think that is it. So for you, you don't agree with what minority is saying, that they are opposing the revival of tribunal courts and they are warning against political persecution. Anyways, that would
political persecution should even be there. The people, the Ghanaians and the citizens should have the boldness to be able to persecute these political people. But it looks like, no, we are relaxed, we are not doing it. Very soon, I'll persecute a lot of people.
Thank you so much, Miss Regina Bless, for joining me briefly to look at some interesting news headline. And my guest is in. We'll be back shortly right after this.
This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
Your morning star, right? Lose views, inspiration.
This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
To the world we bring it. Fresh stories, fresh energy every morning.
This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
Rise and shine. Come join the line. Your day begins when
This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. Your daily dose, here we go. GhanaTalks Breakfast Show.
This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
GhanaTalks Radio.
Only on GhanaTalks Radio. Turn it.
Welcome to GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. We are here again, and this time around we are going to be delving into the second segment of the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. This is still your favorite online radio station. We are streaming live on Facebook at GhanaTalks Radio TV, on YouTube at GhanaTalks Radio, and also on X at GhanaTalks Radio. Do well to log on, send in your comments. We'll do well to read them back to you. Let's get interactive right here on the show. And we are going to be delving into the second segment. And as you know, for the second segment, I don't do it alone, but we come along with knowledgeable guests who are going to be delving into the issue for discussion this morning. This morning, I'm elated to have right here in the studios Mr. Brima Mudase, the NDC Communications team member. Good morning to you, Mr. Brima, and you are welcome to the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show.
Good morning.
You look good in pink.
Thank you.
Pink and black.
Yeah.
You're looking good. It's good to have you in the studios.
It's good to be here too as well. And I would like to, first of all, apologize for not being able to honor the last time invite.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think I gave my word I'll come, but had some last minute urgent something to do. So unfortunately, I couldn't make it. So I would like to apologize to you and the producers as well.
Okay.
Yes.
Apology accepted. But next time you bring a good.
Yes, please. Yes.
How's it been?
By His grace, we are doing well.
You are doing well?
Yes.
Please. Oh, we thank God. Right. Has your party started elections already? How is everything in the NDC camp?
I think for now, the new regulation is that if you have a position in government, you need to resign, then make your intentions clear. And I think that was a very good move by the party. I mean, everyone cannot have it all. One person cannot know it all. So we have to come to a point where at least we give opportunities to other people. So I think I know of Honorable Neil Antevandapoy, who has resigned from his position as a DRIP coordinator.
Oh, really?
Yes. And he has made his intentions clear to go for the national chairmanship position. So far, I mean, he's the Okaime Intatu. Yes, Okaime Intatu. He was the board chairman of National Service Authority. He has also resigned to go for National Youth Organizer. So I think those are the big fishes in the system that I see have declared their intentions. Although others, we are just hearing rumors and all that.
Oh, what are the rumors?
Oh no, I mean for other people also coming for the same position, the likes of Osman Ayarega coming for the National Youth Organizer, Malik Basintali also coming for National Youth Organizer. So I think those are the positions that are really gaining attention or momentum. Yeah, I think national chairmanship we have Gosi Tano of the 24-hour economic secretariat. He is the head of that place, and we are also hearing him also come for the national chairmanship position. But well, we are all seated and we are waiting.
But are we going to be seeing most people also resigning as well? Are we going to be seeing more resignations?
Well, it's about interest. If the person has interest to contest, now the new regulation says you need to resign from your position.
So what if you resign and you don't get the position?
And then so be it. I mean,
so meaning you lost two things: your job and also the position.
Exactly. So at the end of the day, the onus now on you to weigh your chances.
You to weigh your chances.
And whether you succeed in going to contest for the position or not. Because immediately you've left the position vacant, the president is going to make a new appointment right away. So yes, he's going to make a new appointment because the country cannot be on hold because you have an election.
Exactly.
So when that happens,
that's a really tough decision to make, if you ask me.
No, I believe that is politics. It has always been a gamble game because no one has been assured of a position anywhere anyway. Once we want to take up leadership position, you must be convicted in your mind. You must have that conviction that once I'm going for this, I will be able to win it or not. And you have to prepare for both. You can either win or lose. But you can also eat your cake and have it. We don't have to do that because we have a lot of people in the system. And you know this kind of party structure and investments, and people have made their own, contribute their own quota to the party's development and whatever. So once the party has come to power, it is an opportunity for at least whoever that has, contributed his or a quota to the development of the party or into bringing the party into, government, should also have a fair share of, let's say, the national cake or something to be able to contribute his quota to the development of the country as a whole. But if you don't, you don't have that conviction, you don't have that mindset that you can win something, then you just have to relax and enjoy your position. But if you feel you want to serve the party as compared to serving the state, then the distance lies in your hands. Yes. So
the ball is in your court.
The ball is in your court.
The ball is in your court.
I like it anyway because it will give a lot of chance to a lot of people to also have the opportunity to serve within the government machinery. You understand? So it will not just be just one person. Maybe let's say for instance the communications officer currently, Sami Jenfin, being CEO of Go Board, now communications officer, then you still go and contest for them, and you still eat your cake and still have it, come back to Go Board again. It will not be fair. You need to relinquish one so that someone else can also.
So that others can also have the opportunity to occupy those offices.
And I think that will even give the elderly people an opportunity for them to groom with the young ones, or to give us an opportunity to also serve in perhaps some other institutions or some other portfolio, so that they know that when they are not there, they have capable people that they have left the party to or the government machinery to. Because if you just say, without these people, they are indispensable. The last time we lost 8 gallant men, who would have known?
Yeah.
Who would have? The day that happened, I was asking some people that, you see, these are some of the reasons why we ask them for mentorship, for much, because you may carry all the knowledge, but if you don't pass it on to the younger generation, once you are going, anything can happen any day. What happens? The likes of Dr. Omane Boama, imagine if he been part of our election operation, he had kept all the learning to himself. Probably he didn't teach people one or two things. I'm sure maybe there are some one or two things that perhaps he has gone with it, which is unfortunate. But once, I mean, this law comes into being, or this rule has come into being, it gives an opportunity for them to know that anything can happen at any day. The drip that Honorable Neil Lanteva Napoi was heading, I mean, the drip code, he was doing his part anyway. But at the end of the day, once he realized that he would go for national chairmanship position, I'm sure he would have also been giving his subordinates some information on how to handle certain things when he is not around. And that's the beauty of, I mean, a nation development or a nation building. That at the end of the day, it's not only one person that we're able to have that expertise or knowledge. That person will be able to transfer that knowledge to another person, which will also go a long way in shaping our country and the development of our country as well. So I'm happy about this initiative. Well, we hope to see more resignation anyway, because
you are hoping to see more resignation.
Of course, yeah.
Hey,
to give opportunity to some people, you understand, and to make the contest very nice, so that the party will be very attractive to the younger generation. Although the NDC is the only party that is more attractive, I mean, than any other political party in Ghana at the moment, because we have shown that the youth is with us, and we have given opportunity to so many people in the government holding high positions who are also youthful, exuberant, who are also in the youth bracket. That shows that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama really have the youth at heart, and that makes it attractive to the young people, because they know that with the NDC you have an opportunity. You begin an opportunity to build yourself, you be given an opportunity to groom yourself, you begin an opportunity to also serve in the government machinery, you understand, and also feel a part of the government machinery. So at the end of the day, young people, I mean, we should brace ourselves up for the next NDC government, or perhaps if resignation comes, I'm sure His Excellency will definitely put us in the forefront.
I see that. Burma said NDC is the most attractive political party in Ghana. What do you also think? You tell me in the comment section. Let me read it to him. Right. Time is far gone. Let's delve into our main topic for discussion. Yeah, so during the news review, I mentioned that we'll be looking deep into the controversy surrounding the Council of State's advice to Parliament against the passage of the Dual Citizenship Bill. So the Council of State has advised Parliament not to pass the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana Amendment Bill 2025, which is popularly known as the Dual Citizenship Bill. And the bill seeks to remove constitutional restrictions that prevent Ghanaians with dual citizenship from holding certain public offices. Alban Bagbin informed members of Parliament that the Council of State had completed its review and recommended that Parliament should not proceed with the proposed amendment. And according to the Speaker, the bill was referred to the Council of State in line with Article 291, Clause 2 of the 1992 Constitution, which requires the Council to give its advice. So it is mandatory for the Council to give its advice on the passage of this particular bill before it's being passed. He noted that the latest advice is actually different from the Council's earlier position during the 8th Parliament, when it supported the same proposal. However, that bill was not passed before Parliament was dissolved and had to be reintroduced. And he said that despite the Council's recommendation, the Speaker said the advice is not binding on Parliament. He explained that Parliament still has the constitutional authority to debate and decide whether to pass the bill or to reject it. So in as much as Council of State has given its advice, they actually do not have the authority to say that don't pass it, don't pass it. It is binding on Parliament to pass the bill. It's not legal for the Council of State to uphold them or prevent them from passing the bill. So I think in a nutshell, that is what Alban Bagman is saying. Weimar, this one looks like the law and principle.
Oh, I feel more proud as a Ghanaian at the moment.
Why? Because the Council of State is an advisory.
Did you hear what the speaker said? He said the previous 8 parliaments, the advice came that, you are okay with it, pass it.
Yeah,
but this time they said no. That is proper reset agenda. when we say reset agenda, the mindset of the people is included, where people feel that this is the time where we have to collectively build our nation. We cannot build our nation with this kind of, bills and laws that we are passing. Today, there's a typical example. Ken Ofori-Atta is no longer in the country. If we give the leeway to the politicians to feel that I can hold dual citizenship as a member of parliament or as a political person or appointee, then that is soft. Take the people's money, siphon it, squander it, and travel to another country and go and seek asylum, and you are there. That is not what we should be encouraging. But right now, what is holding them accountable to us is the fact that they cannot go and live in any other place. They are not dual citizens of other countries. Although, some people may have it unknowingly, but on record, we know that you do not have it. So I'm very happy that the Council of State has given this advice. It is done onto the members of parliament, who are the politicians, who are the people that we are looking up to do the right thing. That you shouldn't pass such a bill. Because at the end of the day, if they are being selfish or inward and looking into they being able to just run away, you see, there are certain things that we understand there is some good of it. Once people have dual citizenship, even abroad, they can come here in this country, bring investment, come and create jobs and what our citizens can also go there, go and create jobs, send investments over there. But the typical Ghanaian or typical African is always looking for dubious ways to earn a living.
Yeah.
It's always looking for a way of maneuvering around the law and having their way. We have seen in times past where people go to the white man's land and never return after committing a crime. We have to be doing extradition processes. Look at our own, one of our own that went to Sedinam, the CEO of Maslock.
Yeah.
10 years ago, she was jailed. She was imprisoned by a court of competent jurisdiction in this country. And she went abroad. We couldn't get her back for 10 good years. But for this, coming back, second coming of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, perhaps she wouldn't have even come into the country again. What would have happened to accountability? What would have happened to punishing people for doing the wrong thing? Because this one, she has been found guilty. It's not me that will come and sit and say that because she's an NDC person, she was not guilty. The court has found her guilty. That means that she committed a crime. That means that she needs to be accountable to the people that put her in the position. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama was elected by the president. You are the people's president. At wherever you are, say, whether you are a CEO, you are whoever in whatever political position, as long as it is political, you are working for the people. You must be accountable to the people. Now, this is a way where we are going to give the politician a leeway to just escape accountability. Very soft. Because once I have dual citizenship, and dual citizenship means that the person can go and acquire land, the person can go and work there comfortably, the person can go there in and out without visa stress. So at the end of the day, we are just handing gold in the hands of the politicians, which is not the right way. And I'm happy that the Council of State has indeed, sided with a lot of Ghanaians. Many Ghanaians, I'm sure, would have, agreed with us that we don't need this dual citizenship, bill. Because at the end of the day, me and you, perhaps, who cannot travel, we don't even care about these things. All what we know is we get up on our kinky and fish, bread and butter issues are solved. But the politician who can travel is going to misuse it. But let's not even mince ways. They are going to misuse it. They are going to make sure that that is going to be the avenue or the way in which they think that once they commit crime, they can easily fly out. Today we are battling Ken Ofori-Atta. You see, some people are arguing that, we can, can trial, Ken Ofori-Atta in his absentia and all that. But at the end of the day, you don't want to give that impression of a political persecution, or you want to hear from the people. The people want to hear from him. The people want you to be accountable to them. You came and served as finance minister for 7 good years, one of second longest serving finance minister in this country. You've had the opportunity to serve the people. So isn't it proper that you come, accusations have been leveled against you, financial malfeasance, financial application, misappropriation of funds, that you come the way you wear your white and hold your leather bag in the parliament chamber, come to account to the people about your stewardship. But these are people that do not care. When we asked him to resign, then he told us that it's like abandoning what? Children, his children. Today he has abandoned us. Our father has abandoned us. We just want to see our father. Our father said no, he wants to see white man's asylum. He's over there, he has gotten his green card. So you see, the extradition process now has become a bit dicey because right now we are dealing with a citizen of US. He has now become a citizen, and you see, they look at the pedigree of the person, what does the person bring to their economy. And I'm learning that I've heard of certain things that, some people saying that he's acquired some properties over there. He has some shareholders somewhere, those kind of rumors things. So for that matter, the US will value him more. So they extradite him or bring him to the country is going to be an issue. But I also agree with some people on another angle that we need to do better trade. If the likes of Abu Trika and Co are going, let's swap. It's as simple as we just want the man to come and perhaps he's not even guilty. We may just
answer some questions.
We may just be making some noise.
Someone mentioned that what's the worst that is happening to him? He's just going and coming.
Going and coming.
So Ken Oforiatta should also come.
Just going and coming.
And
that's all. And you are sitting in your car comfortably and facing the law.
Right.
I mean, is it the last time I think there was a topic here I spoke, I was like, how they treat even these people when they commit crime is it from how you and I we are even treated ordinary Ghanaian.
Yeah.
When someone goes is still a goat, you have to thank your stars to be able to see broad daylight after the next day. Because you will be lynched. If you're not lucky, you are going to be lynched. If you're not lucky, you are going to be haunted. If you're not lucky, the police says you are going to sleep, mosquitoes are going. But these people, air conditioned prison. It's just a few of them that they send to this our normal one. Oh, BNI cells. Then BNI cells, how many of us will be arrested and get the opportunity to be in BNI cells? Even being there is a privilege because you get to be served how you want.
But your freedom has actually been restricted.
Oh, but I don't know. I want to compare the level of even let me say arrest or the level of handling them when they are guilty of certain crimes, especially the politicians, and compare it to us, the ordinary Ghanaians, when we are being accused. Most of them, when they are even found guilty, you have party lawyers standing. How many of us have our family members who will stand outside to even shout for your release when you have done something that perhaps you've not even done? So this dual citizenship is for me, and I think that I am hoping that the NDC party also come with an official stance of not supporting the bill, because we need to build a country. We were here and people are telling us to go back to our country. Go back to our country. There is a reason why they asked us to go back to our country. Yesterday I was watching someone snap one King Charles stamp. Yesterday he was saying that the lifestyle of South Africans is, even when it comes to financial status or in terms of finances, is less even expensive to live in South Africa. And so for that matter, a lot of people, celebrities, just go there. And the person was saying it's not even anything who does anything special about South Africa. If Ghana we have our hatch, our yacht, where people will just come and cruise. If our river bodies were clean, we'll have our waterfalls. People will love to come to Ghana. People will not even like to leave and go to the likes of South Africa and go and see tall buildings and just, make them feel proud. But at the end of the day, we need to stay and build our country. Why are we in a rush to give people an opportunity to want to, associate or have allegiance to a different, country? The reason why this dual citizenship is not in place because we are afraid of divided allegiance.
But previously, our constitution, the 1992 Constitution of Ghana, allows dual nationality, but places severe restriction on the political and public offices dual citizens can actually hold. That means that you can be a dual citizen.
Oh, that's
but you
right.
will not be allowed to hold certain.
That's what I'm telling you, that right now the amendment or the reform that the bill they want to pass is to make sure that political persons can hold dual citizenship, which is bad. And they themselves, as politicians, have set the precedence that indeed it is bad. So by precedent, by by law, they are guilty as politicians of giving them the opportunity to have dual citizenship. When they don't even have it in Pony. They don't even have the dual citizenship in Pony, and we are struggling to bring someone to just come to account. Our finance minister, if not, let me say, in terms of cabinet meeting, one of the second after the vice president, they decide off so many things at cabinet meetings. Because if someone say he wants to bring a policy or something and there's no money, you be the one to tell them at cabinet there's no money.
Right.
You are the purse holder of the country. And so for that matter, for someone to come and save us for that long period, and our inability to get a person to come to account to us, and now you want to pass a bill that would then grant every political person the ability to get dual citizenship. We are heading towards, a ditch, honestly.
Yeah. So the new bill, which is actually before Parliament, of which the Council of State has actually advised that it should hold on, says that it specifically seeks to completely remove the citizenship-based restrictions and exclusions that prevents dual nationals from contesting elections or holding key public offices. The text of the bill introduces the 19th Constitution that the bill proposes to eliminate Article 8, Clause 2 entirely, and this removes the clause that prohibits dual citizens from being appointed to top-tier government and security leadership positions. If passed, dual citizens would become legally eligible to hold positions or serve as the Inspector General of Police, that is the IGP, which is the current amendment bill. If it is being passed, that means that a dual citizen can serve in this following position: IGP and Chief of Defense Staff, ambassadors and high commissioners, Secretary to the Cabinet, Directors General of Immigration, Prisons and Intelligence Services. So these, I don't think, do you see it as a danger, having a dual citizen holding these positions?
You see,
IGP.
It's not just the citizenship per se. Once you are able to acquire the citizenship of that country, you are entitled to so many things of that particular country. Which means that if your IGP is also a citizen of Togo and there is security crisis over there, and perhaps his expertise and knowledge are needed as a citizen in the first place, even as a citizen in the first place, because of his expertise, it is even needed. And perhaps we also have security crisis. We don't even need to even have security crisis, simple. Why should you even leave your post to go to another country to go and... We understand people go on those kind of mission tours and whatever. But at the end of the day, that then gives him free access, easy route for him to easily feel allegiant to that people and perhaps abandon his post in the number one. Number two, because of the pedigree of that position, perhaps he may even be called over there and be given another position. Divided attention, what the NDC is trying to avoid, that you have a position and still have another one. He or she may even get appointed for them because he's entitled. Perhaps he qualifies. Maybe being a citizen there can qualify him for even ministerial position over there too. Who knows? So you see, the thing is very dicey in the sense that we are dealing with politicians. That is the problem. I be ordinary people, they no people have problem with that. But we are dealing with political appointees. We are dealing with security apparatus, state intelligence, institutions.
Yeah.
We are dealing with secretary to the cabinet.
Yeah.
That is not a small position.
Yeah.
Secretary to the cabinet can go and be a land and chilling and still be writing letters to us.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, he doesn't know the state of affairs in the country.
Is it risky?
It is. Like when you look at it that way, you see, it is about the well-being of us,
of the state,
of the people, of the work that we have given to the people, of the mandate. Because you would want these people to serve in full capacity without disturbance. Look, it's just that there are some certain things that they themselves have made sure that we don't get to know about, and maybe Ghanaians we are not angry enough always. Because if you go and see the pay slip of some of these people, how much they are receiving, the allowance per diem and all those things, you will read from Mother Ghana. So at the end of the day, these are the things that we are worried about, that we'll be paying these huge sums of money. Then we have given you the opportunity to step out. Then you are giving us a divided attention, or you are paying allegiance to a different country. What if a war happens right now? We need your services. They need your services. You are divided. If you are a citizen of Togo, you are a citizen of Ghana, we are going to war. Who are you going to represent?
But
as a leader,
right? But can't they allow you to denounce one country or?
So we don't. Then let's not even bring that in the first place.
The person shouldn't even be allowed to even come forward to hold any position.
Let's not even bring the dual citizenship in the first place. Because if we give the opportunity to what do you call it?
To allow them to denounce.
No, to get your dual citizenship. At what point are you going to denounce it? Because is it at a point where, there is war, so I have to pay? So it's going to be a back and forth issue. So it's going to be convenient. So whenever it's convenient for me to denounce, I'll denounce. Whenever it's not convenient, I'll go back for my citizenship for another country.
Right.
You see, ordinarily, this would have been a good initiative because these are leaders who travel around. Easy access. So if they have, what do you call it? If they have that kind of access to different country, what would have happened is that, so at the end of the day, we would have assumed that, they will go and bring us investors, they will go and bring us that relation with their top government officials. The fact that they are even citizens of that country will be entitled to some things. Perhaps they can even adapt some of their culture, their tradition, and come to fit with us so that can help us in nation building. For us to learn about other people's culture, other people's, religion, for us to learn about other people's development ways. So that will improve us as a country. And because the person is a citizen, he or she can go there and have free movement, free services of certain things. You understand? But the kind of people you are dealing with, you don't need to gamble with such things. You don't need to gamble. Immediately you give the politician, the black man, a leeway that he or she has an option to be able to perhaps run away or deviate from accountability. You see some of these things. And that is what we are facing currently. Someone left the country 10 years ago. And she's coming back upon all the effort of the previous government to bring it. They couldn't bring it. So imagine if she was established and a citizen of that country. They will never allow their citizens to go out. They will not allow their citizens to go out because they feel perhaps a normal reasons will be raised, which will be genuine, and they will justify it, political persecution.
So that means that a dual citizen can't also be a member of parliament.
No member of parliament is currently a dual citizen.
Right. So I think that is actually the controversies.
Of course.
Chachi question.
Yes, that was what happened.
Yeah.
So he
had to denounce.
He had denounced it. It was MPP propaganda. He had denounced it earlier. I think
already
2 years before the election. Simple. You understand? But in their minds and their thought, they thought perhaps he was still a citizen of Canada. And so for them, they took the matter to court, and he was going and coming and all that, and it didn't go in their favor. So that is the point we are talking about. The last time I was watching Mr. Happiness on TikTok, he's currently a citizen of Netherlands. If he comes to Ghana here and even he needs medical services, the last time he was saying, even if something happens to him, the Netherlands are ready to send their medical team or airport to come and take him back to the country to go and treat their citizen.
Yeah.
The kind of benefits they will get from having a dual citizen or being a citizen of another country is even enormous. You understand? And so for that matter, it is very dicey that you give it to such people. Our security and other countries can use as a strategy to infiltrate your security system. Because you've spoken about immigration top officials. Yeah. You've spoken about our IGP.
The IGP.
Oh, wonderful. Let's yes. He likes luxury. He likes beauty. Let's give him citizenship. He will come. We will take confidential information from him. And you see, the white people are always clever. We can never underestimate them. What they want, if they want it, they will get it from a black man. Oh, very simple. Very, very simple.
All right. So I actually thought the NDC was actually in line with
in support of it.
Yes, because in its 2024 resetting Ghana manifesto, the National Democratic Congress made a firm commitment to fully reform and overhaul Ghana's restrictive dual citizenship laws. So the NDC pledged to repeal and amend laws restricting dual citizens from holding key political and state position on page 162 of the manifesto. The party labeled the existing constitutional bans as outdated and inconsistent with modern democratic principles of inclusivity. The NDC argued that these laws bar a vast pool of global talents from contributing to national development. So that should tell you that during the campaign of the NDC, they actually advocated for it and said that, that thing that they say that if you're a dual citizen, you cannot hold specific position. When they come, they are going to repeal it. When you become when you are a dual citizenship, if you're a dual citizen, you'll be allowed to hold certain position.
Yeah.
Now, they're the same people in parliament. So what changed?
So that's what I'm saying. At the moment, Abi, it's still being laid before Parliament.
Yeah.
So if that is our party manifesto for 2024, I'm very sure that at the end of the day, they will toe in the line of the party lines. And, well, what some of us believe shouldn't happen may happen, you understand? Maybe despite the advice by the...
Is it a rethink?
No, you know, the advice that came from Council of Elders, who are apolitical. Or
but the NDC was in support of it, that it should be repealed. Dual citizens should be allowed to hold specific
which
position.
is part of the campaign manifesto.
Yes,
anyway.
exactly.
So I'm sure that is why it has been laid. And for that matter, I know that
really looking at it again.
I'm sure the MPs may told the party line, if the party still stands by that, you understand, because they are there to represent the political party as well. So if it comes that the party indeed still believes that political what do you call it, appointees should still hold dual citizenship, I'm sure the MPs will told that and they would pass it accordingly.
But you mentioned that's a danger and it's risky.
Well, that is my personal view as I'm speaking over here. But if I'm to speak,
but you are not in support.
Oh, as a person, I do not support it. Not at all. I don't support
it.
So
even if your party tries to repeal it,
well, if the
you
party,
object it.
No, if the party, as a person, yes, I don't believe that we should go by that time. But if it is something that they feel it is good, well, and they pass it, fine. I mean, we have everything has its pros and cons, but I see that the cons are more than the pros. The negative outweigh the positives. You understand? Yeah. You remember I did mention that, this would be an opportunity for them to go and bring even more investors, more investment, bring job opportunities, kind of bring growth, go and adapt foreign culture or ways of doing things, and pass inculcating our people and bring that kind of more development. Because once the person can access or have as dual citizen of another country, it gives you so much freedom to be able to do certain things over there. To be able to, it gives you that entitlement to acquire some buildings, properties, to acquire so many things over there, and to be able to move from one country to another. But the other side we are looking at is they evading accountability. Some of the politicians using it as an avenue to evade accountability after their term or whenever they are being asked to come and account to the people after their term of office. You understand? Or if something happens, untoward happens, and they are being perhaps arrested or investigated, and perhaps they feel that they are guilty, it is going to be an avenue for some of them to use to flee out of the country, which is very, very easy. You understand the point I am making? So that is the point I am looking at, to say that in generality, then let's just not pass it, because at the end of the day, the positives we are looking at
outweighs the negative.
Some of these politicians make it very clear that the negatives is what they may dwell in more. Because at the end of the day, many of them still travel around the world to go for some seminars, programs, whatever that is being organized abroad. You understand? It doesn't prevent them from going abroad, but this dual citizenship, being able to acquire the citizenship of another country, then gives the person an upper hand, in the sense that that person then becomes a citizen of that country, where you feel belonged, where that government or that country is now responsible for your well-being as well. And we are looking at your allegiance as well. In case something happens and you have to choose between your mother country, Ghana, and another country, who are you going to dwell in? So those are the negative points that I was raising. And I'm saying that, looking at all that, I would have preferred as a person that we shouldn't pass it. But if that is the party stance and they still stand by it, if maybe they go against the advice of the Council of Elders and they feel that this thing must pass for, I'm sure maybe they have good reasons anyway. I mean they also have good reasons towards the development of the country and wanting the thing to be good. So I believe that it will be in the right place, but we'll look at it still.
But for you personally,
I do not support the party.
So in spite of all these controversies, Council of State advising that hold on, and Parliament also saying that the advice Council of State is actually given is not binding to Parliament.
That's true.
So that means that they can actually decide to
ignore it
and still pass the bill. Do you think that's at this juncture Because looking at this, is the law against principle? Because according to principle, you are supposed to, let's say, go to the Council of State and listen. If that is the case, then why then still go to the Council of State to seek for advice on it?
The Council of State are made up.
If we are still not going to adhere to the advice.
The Council of State are made of prominent individuals, people who have experience, expertise in different kinds of work. We still have the likes of the security operators. We have the likes of former IGPs, former operators, those who have perhaps that well lived in the country and have that experience, and we expect them to know more. So, I mean, they will provide their advice, you understand, on what they think on an issue. It's the same way the issue of the former Chief Justice Jethro Tukono.
Yeah.
After the committee did the investigation, they gave recommendations to the president. And when you look at the wording of the constitution, the president may take into consideration the recommendation of the committee. It's not binding, it's not compulsory. You understand?
So the onus lies on the president to make the decision.
To make a decision. It's the same way with the MPs. The Council of State have given their advice. If you think otherwise, you go by it. Perhaps, well, we don't want to believe that the Council of State don't have enough information or this about it. But by now, they've provided them with enough resources and almost everything. And they are aware of what the bill is entail and what it will do. The pros and cons. They have sat down and outweighed. And they've seen that if this bill passes, perhaps it will not be good for the country. But perhaps to the MPs along the line also have also done their investigation, maybe perhaps have some broader consultation, and perhaps also come to a conclusion that it is better we pass it. So it's not about that principle per se. It is about what is good for the country. It is about what is good for the country actually, because if we have to go against the advice of the Council of State because their advice is not sacred. I mean, it's not sacrosanct. It doesn't mean it is superior to any other destiny. I mean,
the law is the law.
Well, if that's what they will pass, the law will be the law.
Because as it stands now, that is what Alban Bagbin is saying.
Exactly.
That the law is the law.
Yes.
In as much as you are giving me advice, it's not legal.
No. It's not binding that I have to take it.
I have to take your advice.
Yes, it's just like the way committees should be set up where the president will just have to sit down, receive recommendations, look at it, implement some of them that he believes are perhaps good for the country, and perhaps do away with those that he believed are not good for the country. So the onus now lies on the politicians, which is sad anyway, which is problematic, because it's like giving someone his meat to chew, because the politician will always be a politician. Their main aim of politics is to win elections and to govern this country. But at the end of the day, they are individuals. They know what that bill will seek to benefit them as individuals. And so for that matter, we don't have an option but leave it in their hands.
In their hands.
And I believe that they should think beyond personal interest. They should think about future generations. They should think about the young people coming up. And they should know that once the Council of the Council of Elders have advised against it, they should go by it, because at the end of the day, we live in this country where they politicians, they MPs, they political appointees have cited a number of examples to us that bill will do us harm in evading accountability. Running away.
Yeah. But is that not we depriving ourselves from global expertise? People from all around the world coming with their knowledge and what could actually help us and develop ourselves as a country.
That's true. I agree with you. We may be denying ourselves of those expertise and knowledge, but that's what I'm saying, that you need to look at the other side of the coin, the negatives of it, where people commit crime, where people do the country bad, where people may take away some in terms of these kind of financial issues, and will be asked to come to account, and they will tell us that we are not accountable to you, and they will flee out of the country. That is what we are seeking to prevent. But getting us expertise, knowledge, and all that is good. But anyway, they have been doing it anyway. They have been traveling abroad on occasions, and if those experts were developing this would have developed more, because all of them have been traveling. They always have programs abroad. So that is the point. But the weapon we are seeking to give to them, well, we just hope and pray that they listen to the Council of the Council of Elders advice, and do the right thing, and do the right thing for the country. Yes,
they should listen to the Council of State advice.
Council of State advice, and do the right thing.
And
for
do the
country.
right thing.
Yes, and do the right thing. Whatever they feel is right. Well, we are citizens. We will go by it. We are law-abiding citizens, and so whatever law they pass, which I know they'll pass in good faith, for the good of the people, we'll take it in good faith. Yeah.
So we take it in good faith like that.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Mudasi has given his take on the whole controversy surrounding the dual citizenship, and also the advice Council of State is given to Parliament. We are just hoping that they make the right decision for us.
Yeah.
Just as Mr. Mudasi said,
for they themselves,
risky.
because they are even political appointees. We are just ordinary Ghanaians.
They can go and marry a white woman there and then automatically become a citizen there in their country, and whereas they are serving political officers here.
Well, no, we will not allow them to serve anyway.
You wouldn't?
We wouldn't allow them if the bill is not passed. The fact that you're going to marry a white person, you cannot come here and hold any political position.
You will avoid them of holding any political position.
Yeah, definitely. You will not be allowed.
Right. This has been interesting. This has still been the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. Remember that you're streaming live on Facebook at GhanaTalks Radio TV, on YouTube at GhanaTalks Radio, and also on X at GhanaTalks Radio. What do you also think? Do you think that if you hold two passports, not put two, let me say two passports automatically, if you are a dual citizen, you should be allowed to hold public office or political offices, or you shouldn't be? You should be restricted. What do you also think? You can share your thoughts with us in the comment section. Right, Prima, we are going to be moving to our next topic for discussion, and this is actually an irregularity that the Auditor General has brought to light. And it says that 7.4 million Ghana cedis paid to 4 dead pensioners from 2019 to 2026. And the question is, who is to be held accountable? The Auditor General has uncovered that more than 7.4 million Ghana cedis was paid to 4 pensioners who had already died, raising concerns about weaknesses in Ghana's pension payment system. According to the Auditor General's report on the public accounts of Ghana for ministries, departments and agencies for the year ended December 31, 2025, the payments were made between February 2019 and March 2026. And the report says that more than 7.4 million Ghana cedis was paid after the death of these 4 pensioners, which goes against public financial management regulations. And the Auditor General has directed that the Controller and Accountant General's Department should recover the money, including interest, from the next of kin of the deceased pensioner. And the report also states that if the funds cannot be recovered, legal action should be taken against those responsible, including the banks involved and the beneficiaries who received the money. Now the question is, who is actually supposed to be held accountable?
That is the question.
Who? Is it going to be the next of kin?
Because
the money should have stopped coming when the person died.
Yes, one thing I've realized is that it's always a cabal, a group of people who have sat down.
Who have joined them heads together.
Yes. So from the institution, Controller, Accountant General, the banks, the tellers, to the last person.
Which is the next of kin.
The person that goes to withdraw the money. They are all liable to this. And you see, they have identified the loopholes in our system.
Yes.
And the unfortunate thing about the report, it doesn't mention names.
No.
It just leaves so much to doubt, so much speculation, so much freedom for people to just run away. They should be able to trace names, mention names. The money was transferred from this account to this account.
You think the Auditor General doesn't have it?
That's what I'm saying. He has to have it. They need to add it to the report. with name and shame.
To the public?
Of course. What is wrong with that?
Is that not putting a person's life at risk?
What's putting you at risk for?
Really?
Why? Is the NSA former NSA director, the woman, is she not going about her duties? Although she's facing courts. She's facing, court. One thing is going about it. No one. There is no Ghanaians money that we are talking about.
Yeah.
Yes. The likes of one thing going for a 30 million Ghana cedis, what do you call it? Loan. Is Ghanaians is our money. The Exim Bank was made for a purpose, for export and import. Export and import services. If you want to go and import something to come and help the country, and you can prove of your company have a proven experience, track record of doing that, you can go to the Exim Bank, go for loan, and they will help you so that you employ the youth of Ghana once it has good intentions. You see we have everything available in this country for the good of the people, but I don't know, it's the politicians and the people who are in position, they misuse some of this and we don't get the benefit of it. What wrong would Exim Bank would have done? Your party came into power 2016. Then in 2019, we were to set up 2018, you were to set up a company that has proven track record. Sometimes we cannot blame the politicians too. The people who are not politicians, who are managing this institute, technocrats, the people who are supposed to know better. Party came into power 2017, 2018 has a company that has proven track record of being able to employ people on hundreds of acres of land as a crop like maize, and you have given him the money to go and do it. What are we doing to our country? What are we doing to our country? And it's just because of his pedigree, his political exposure. Someone is afraid not to release the money to him and perhaps be persecuted. So at the end of the day, someone is sitting somewhere also benefiting, allowing this kind of thievery to always go on. Because the Controller Accountant General cannot tell us that they do not have a system that can liaise with deaths and births registry. That whenever the person is no more, there's the births and death registry who has the data of institutions of people who are no more.
Of which they could have actually flagged that.
Exactly. So at the end of the day, once we blame the politicians for some of the financial malfeasance or things happening, we ourselves, the technocrats and the civil servants, are also guilty of some of these things. Because Controller and Accountant General cannot tell us that they were not aware of the death of these 4 people. That they do not know that these 4 people are no more in the institutions that they were working at. And you see, that's what I'm saying. The Auditor General report is always vacant and it leaves so much room to. We should know the institution that the person was working at. How much was the person receiving monthly? And how did he accumulate to 5.7 million Ghana cedis? 7.4 million Ghana cedis.
And they've been paying them since 2019 for 7 years now. That's a lot.
When you convert it to dollars, almost to $1 million that we've wasted. We not wasted it. It has entered into some people's pockets. Someone in his family, they are enjoying a cabal, a group of people. It has struck somewhere, and it will not go anywhere. That's a sad to know. When we talk about it every year, every day, it will not go anywhere. People, you see, that's why I like this thing that has been set up. The regional tribunals court that is being set up. The bill yesterday they were discussing the bill at Parliament.
Yeah.
That is a very perfect thing. That tribunals, Honorable John Jinapa was making a submission that it is bringing about
political persecutions.
Bring about some bad memories about the times where tribunal courts. But that is the right thing to go. We need to set up courts that will fast track your case in 10 1, 2, guilty or not guilty. Evidence is there. We don't need to be scheduling dates and going and coming. People must be seen to be punished. Like we should punish people. Must be seen to face the law. If not, this will keep on going. Someone will live with someone at deaths and births registry. Someone will live with someone at Controller Accountant General. Someone will live with someone at ADB Bank. Someone will live with a teller, whom every month your share is this. Then it is going on. At what point did the Auditor General discover this? Is it just now? Has it been happening? Or now that they've done a report 2019 up to now? Why are we doing this ourselves as a country? Laws are there. punish the person, we say we will not do. Let the person face sanctions for the crime that the person has committed. Let people face the law. Now, we are all doing it because people do it with so much, what do you call it, impunity.
Yeah.
Nothing happens.
Yeah. Nobody has been used as a deterrent.
No, and nobody will ever be used.
Oh, are you sure? Because
I believe
the Auditor General stated that if they are not able to provide the money, legal actions will be taken against them.
Who is he referring to? No, who is he referring to? Who
it
should
could
provide
be the
the money?
next of kin.
Oh.
The controller
No,
general.
you should be able to name and me. That's why I'm an admirer of the Anas Arimiyan analysis style.
Yeah.
If you don't name and shame, there's a problem. If you are being caught red-handed, taking money that you're not supposed to take, name and shame. That one alone is even a punishment. That one alone. But if names are not mentioned, if institutions are not mentioned, if banks are not mentioned, to be the cause of, so that some of the banks, oh, our name has gone out. Oh,
that's
we don't
a
want
reputational damage.
Thank you. No, but now who cause them? If a worker in your bank does not want to do the right thing or is engaged in this kind of cabal stealing from the states.
But would it be the fault of the bank or the controller general? Because from what I read, it says that you are supposed to provide a life certificate from 6 to 12 months. And if you don't provide that certificate, your name will be flagged as dead. And as it stands now, it wasn't.
It's a cabal. That's what I'm saying. The
so
banks,
you
the
think
banks,
that they connived and did this together?
Controller country then will release money into the system. Will release money into the person's account at a certain bank, the bank where the person is working at. Why? So the bank, they want to tell us that they are where this person has lived. They don't update their records. This person has been coming for this same money from this bank. Yes, maybe the bank may not be at fault in a small sense that, oh, they are just working by, institution IT account or budget. But they cannot tell us that they cannot also liaise with Controller and Accountant General to be doing regular updates. You understand? We need to be innovative in this country. Like, we can't just sit down and just wait for politicians to always pass laws to govern us. The bank should have policy that every 10 years, Controller and Accountant General, the monies you are sending to these people who have proved that they are alive, let us see, like, there should be evidence. Whenever the person comes, okay, give us fingerprints of the person. We can verify. So if the person comes, your fingerprint, even at the bank, it is there. So after every perhaps 10 years, when you come, Controller Accountant General, before you release the money, the institution that has proved that you are alive, you have come, fingerprint is there. The bank you are going, they should to verify with the same fingerprint that you have. Technology every week can simply solve this issue. But I am telling you that it is because some people are benefiting from it. Some people, it's like a web from one person to another. So, but I want to strongly believe that this government will take this, the bull by the horns and do a yeoman's job and clean our system of these kind of fraudulent activities. That is pure thievery, stealing from the states, earning an income that you've not earned.
You've not worked.
We've not worked for. These are people's taxes. These are the trotro. These are the you and I, the media house. Everyone paying their taxes. Every citizen contribute their quota to the development of this country. Yesterday I was listening to the news and the president was talking about the government. Being able to pay the IPPs, the independent panel producers, and so for that matter now ECG can now pay upfront. So ECG no longer has debt to the independent power producers. So the revenue the ECG is generating, they can pay their debt as it comes. They don't need to wait for a number of years. Say a canal mobile one, and then the government is now coming to pay. Yeah. Now he made a comment that now even with the commercial and the commercial and the technical losses, I was in the car and I said, we just find ways to decorate certain things. The thievery is stealing. What is commercial losses?
Commercial and technical losses.
What is that? Where did the money pass?
Technical.
The issues. Money has passed through a system. People's name have been, before the money will go through bank account or wherever someone has sent money, there is a name. There is a channel. What happened to tracing the channel? Yet we say that, you bought 21 million Ghana cedis. there is a loss of, and we are using it every day and letting people to get away with it, which is very, very bad and which is very, very wrong. Because at the end of the day, we are giving people the leeway and we are putting into the minds of young people or people coming up that, oh, it is a norm that you can have losses. It is good, or there is nothing wrong with supposed losses in an institution. You've been given a government institution to manage, and it is normal that every year you record loss. What is losses? You have stolen the money, or where has the money passed? Those are the things that we need to be asking. Institutions cannot just, oh, we have declared a loss. What happened?
Right. So, Barma, what do you think that we can do as a country to make sure that we don't see this?
I say one, the tribunals must set up. The Parliament must make sure we pay the tribunal court so they can speed or fast track some of these cases. We don't want corner bra court cases. Second, we must name and shame. Names have to be mentioned. Names must be mentioned. We must make sure that people who are, held liable are punished severely. Apart from paying the money, you have to go and sleep in prison and mosquitoes will bite you small. You have to go and sleep there. And we have to also make sure that the people who are put in the positions are the right people. But all boils down to leadership failure. All boils down to leadership crisis in this country. But if you have people who have the country at heart, we will not watch for some of these things to happen. And I cannot say that people in positions are not aware of these things. And that's why I always believe that it is a cabal. There are a group of people who have sat down, looked at all the system, looked at the loopholes, and decided that this is where the money can pass without notice. This is where we can receive the money without notice. And so for that matter, we need to identify those loopholes. What is wrong with the system?
What is
that
wrong with the
makes
system?
it easy
For people to loot.
Exactly. To use dead people's account and still be receiving money for almost how many years now?
7 years.
We can do good. We can do ourselves better. We can do better than this as a country. And I believe that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, and with what the Attorney General have said, we must be able to crack down the whip. This cannot continue to go on. And we must crack down the whip and put whoever, no matter who you are, unless, of course, someone is also benefiting from a top person. If not, it shouldn't be difficult to trace. It shouldn't be difficult to mention names. It shouldn't be difficult at all. It shouldn't be difficult to prosecute people who have done these things. But I don't know, they make it look like some rocket science or some hundious process they have to go through to be able to identify who is responsible for these kind of crimes.
Yeah.
Which is bad. It's very, very easy.
Yeah.
White man's land, we hardly see some of these. They commit crimes, they do bad things more. But it's not as much as this kind of money that we are talking about. When you go to the white man, small money, they're always happy. But this place, we'll say they mention dollars, million cedis, as if it's just some, 50 pesos money. And people are sitting down, chilling with it.
Yeah.
Taking advantage of the system.
So someone has to be used as a deterrent.
That's the first one.
But have we had previous cases where people have been used?
I'm telling you, once it is a cabal, it can never happen.
What is cabal?
A group of people.
A group of people.
Those bad minds, when they sit there and put their heads and identify the loopholes, and it's always inside people. It's always people who know the system.
Who know the system.
Yes.
Because an outsider cannot do that.
You and I sitting here, we don't know how the money will pass. From start to end, there are people who know the system. And that's what I'm saying, unless, of course, our people are also benefiting from it. This shouldn't be any difficult thing. If you want to find where crime is happening or where something is happening, you just need to follow the money. You follow where the money has passed. You trace the money. You always find the people. How are they able to always come to Ghana and arrest those who are engaged in the fraudulent activity, the scamming and whatever? They trace the money. The white man, the FBI people abroad, how are they able to come here and tell us that some of our Ghanaian nationals, Abu Trika and Co, are engaged in these things? Meaning that if we want to, we can do it.
We can do it.
We can do it.
If we set our minds to it, we can do it. Somebody would definitely be used as a deterrent to make sure that these criminal acts do not go on again. who is supposed to be held accountable for this financial irregularity? Is it going to be the Controller General? Is it going to be the banks or the next of kin? Question for the gods to answer. Definitely, as Mr. Barmer has said, there's an insider there. It's a cabal of people. Thank you so much, Mr. Barmer, for this brilliant submission on our topics. Your last words before we leave.
I think, like I said, Honorable Neil Lanteva Napoy has a clear intention to go for the NDC national chairman position. And so for that matter, I would like to call on all party faithfuls, the grassroots, branch executives to the top, that Honorable Neil Lanteva Napoy is our best bet for the national chairmanship position. He has served in so many, ministerial appointments from John Mahama 1 to John Mahama 2. And he has proven track record as an MP for Ododio constituency. He has done his part for the country. He has done his part for the party. And this is the time for the party to reward him and reward him handsomely by coming all out come December and make him the national chairman of the NDC party. I would like to also, send my regards to Eru Adams Karim. He's going for Deputy National Communications Officer as well. And so for that matter, I would like to call on the rank and file of our party. On come December, we'll vote for Eru Adams Karim for the Deputy National Communications Officer as well. And also recently, Honorable Lawyer Eric Ejay, the CEO of National Entrepreneurship Innovative Program, NEP, he has donated about some 100 bags of cement for College of Education at what they call German constituency to help in the construction of the College of Education. And these are the kind of leaders that we need in our country. Contributing their quota, giving out these kind of contributions for the well-being of our country and development of our country as well. I would like to also send my regards to Honorable Jodo Pariado, the Minister of Youth and the Minister of Youth, also doing his part. Yesterday, he granted an interview on Joy News. Talking about how far we have come with the Red Stop agenda, where drug abuse by the youth. He made mention of the government's efforts to be to track down some of these things, and that is a good way for us. And then lastly, the Minister of Labour and Employment, Honorable Rashid Popo, the MP for West Central constituency. He has been doing a very good job at his ministry, one of the ministries that we really hear of anything. And he has been doing his part, and we pray and hope that the Lord continue to grant him long life and wisdom to our leaders to be able to make sure that the research agenda affects and touches every life in this country. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Brian Mamudasi. Thank you so much for joining us on the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. But before we leave, God willing, tomorrow is National Cleanup Day. Brian, where will you be cleaning?
I thought they should make it holiday.
They should make it holiday so that we
all clean our houses. Or am I lying?
No, Saturday is going to involve everybody. But for Friday, tomorrow is going to be officers. I think the officers that were flooded.
No, but I cannot wear my suit and tie and go to
and go and clean the office.
Or you want us to wait? No, but I think
it should be a holiday.
It should be a holiday. There's nothing. No, there's nothing nothing happened to it.
So the Interior Minister should come out and say,
please,
it's a holiday.
They should make it a holiday. So be anyway.
If they declare it a holiday, some people will not go. Some people will not go to their offices and clean.
Even you don't even declare it. Maybe I may even sleep over and not. We want an opportunity to even relax more. It's not easy the whole
No, you have to go and clean.
I hope and pray it will yield the impact
so Parliament
that we
will be joining because of that.
Of
tomorrow
course,
there'll be no sitting in Parliament tomorrow.
Of course,
so that should tell you that it's going to be very intense.
Of course, everyone should come out and join the national cleaning. It's a good initiative. The NDC has a track record of doing some of these things. In our previous days, we said every Saturday of every new month we'll be cleaning.
Yeah, they do it.
The NPP came and told us that every day is sanitation day, and they cancelled that. So at first, the Jomama one, people used to come out in the first Saturday, like every leader, those politicians will come out, will do it in a very nice manner. But the NPP came and said, every day is sanitation day. And now we are back. And we are going to do the thing so that flooding will no longer be happening.
Yeah, so tomorrow is National Cleanup Day. Make sure that in your offices, wherever you find yourself, in the ministries, Parliament, I was so excited when Parliament stated that they are suspending sitting tomorrow.
Of course.
They are all going to be cleaning. Yeah, so that should tell you that if our politicians are cleaning, how much more you ordinary. So make sure that you clean your offices, you clean your vicinity, and on Saturday to be continuous in your communities, you also have to clean. Please, it's a shared responsibility. If we do it together, we are going to get the positive results we are all looking for. So make sure that you come out in your number. Go to work. Don't say it's a holiday. It's not a holiday. Go to work and go and clean. Right. We are hoping to see a difference right after this cleanup. And we hope that it continues. It's not going to be a 9-day wonder. Right, this is where we draw the curtains for the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. This has been your morning companion. Thank you so much for joining us right here on the show. We'll meet same time tomorrow. Do have a lovely day.